is hot now. Hello!
Hello!
Welcome back to Kenjamin Art live stream.
Kenji?
Yesy.
I think you got something special you want to tell everybody.
It's been like a while? What? Sorry, I mean, 2024 has been kind of a hectic year. I'm not sure, like, what special thing you're referencing specifically.
Something that you said on Schmace's.
Oh! Bitchin' Yule, everybody!
Yeah! It's been a really long time since we did a stream.
I just shaking off the cobwebs, getting ready to host a thing again. Jeez. Yeah, wait, okay, so that bit is because people were joking about, like, pagan holidays, like, they never know how to go. Is it Merry Yule, Happy Yule, Bitchin' Yule, but yeah.
You said pagan. I thought you said pagan. We're starting off strong.
Not enough booze has been consumed for that one just yet, okay?
I know. Hey, everybody in chat, welcome!
Ah, Pixelet Shark! Hey, Coral! Awesome!
Yes, as a pagan, it's always like, do you say Merry Yule? Do you say Happy Yule? I do like Bitchin' Yule.
Bitchin' Yule is pretty awesome,
yeah.
admittedly.
I hope you all are having a Bitchin' Yule.
Yeah!
We have been.
Heck yeah!
I ate way too much burrito.
Oh, yeah, but we always have to get, like, our Christmas Yule burritos.
Yeah.
Like, it is tradition in this house, thank you.
And then, but the overeating and the dairy, I am that lactose intolerant person who was
still eats lactose.
Yeah. You want to tell everybody what we're up to today?
Today, we are going to be making sprites based on different, like, Yule, Christmas, kind of winter traditions, characters, and myths. As you can see, I've got a lovely Krampus sprite that I had made previously. He's kind of a big boy. That's a massive sprite that I made.
I love him.
I
love them.
I'm so thrilled with how this Krampus turned out.
Yeah.
I might make another Krampus tonight. Who knows? Figured I'd probably, have something cool to look at the start.
Everyone agrees that and asking the really important questions of our lifetime and of our generation, is there really so much thing as too much burrito?
No, the answer is no.
Oh, my stomach disagrees. Oh.
All right.
My aging, decrepit, almost 40-year-old tummy.
In like 4 or 5 months, okay? Okay. Who should I start with? I'm thinking we should get started on this. Let's just start off with someone that everybody knows, somebody familiar.
Santa?
Yes.
Really?
Santa, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I was just making that up.
I figured let's start with the big round boy himself.
Ring ting tingling too.
I'm gonna have to remember all my shortcuts on this. Jeez, a lot of my art lately I've been doing in like Clip Studio Paint. As much as I love me a sprite, like a sprite is so freaking good, y'all. It just on my tablet, like there isn't a tablet version of the A sprite, so I'm stuck using other methods. So Clip Studio it was, but yeah, let's throw his head back a little bit more.
And
yeah.
Ours, our first stream coming back after how many months?
Oh gosh, I think like our last stream was in April.
Oh
yeah, it's been a minute.
Should we offer an explanation of what the heck we've been up to this year?
I mean, we were gonna do a stream about that exact topic.
Yeah.
So like, if we do it now, do we still do the stream answering where the heck we were this last year?
You want to do Yassified?
I do. We have stream ideas, y'all.
You got so many Yassified male-presenting people to really upset all the incels about current video game characters.
Like, okay, real talk though, Intergalactic Heretic Prophet, like, I am really stoked. That game looks so freaking cool. Like,
Intergalactic Space Prophets.
Another dimension.
Another dimension. Yeah, she's fucking a hottie. She's a hottie. As a bisexual woman, I can confirm she's a hottie. But I know that very many incels are upset. They're like, man, why don't these female characters look like just cartoons that I can fantasize about. How dare they look like real humanoids that would probably reject me on a dating app.
Oh no. I made a mistake. I did the mistake every artist does, and I drew on the layer that I was using as like a reference layer.
Oh no!
So give me 2 seconds
that
to
just
correct
proves
that
that you're a professional.
I'm a professional artist. I make professional mistakes.
Yeah, real humans. Gross.
I know, right?
So we have quite a few ideas for some streams already.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that Ken's pretty excited about these.
I'm really excited.
Just a short explanation of what happened is, I did a really intensive almost nearly year-long yoga teacher training program. And so I can say I'm officially a yoga teaper now.
You are. Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been doing yoga since my early 20s, and it's a kind of an important deal. It's kind of an important thing for me, for my own, not just health, but spirituality, all that good stuff. I really like yoga, and so felt so passionate about it that I wanted to become a yoga teacher. And thank you very much, chat, for the congrats. I appreciate it. But it was long, and it was really challenging. It was really a re-triggering experience for me. Yeah. I'm not going to go into the whole details, but there's a lot of problems with the world of yoga, as I'm sure many people know, here in the United States, and there's a lot of toxicity, a lot of cultural appropriation, and I was really hoping that the studio I chose would have been, a little bit more self-aware and a little bit more progressive than that, but no, turns out that they're just perpetuating a lot of the bigger problems. So it was really exhausting, and it was only one weekend a month, but there was a lot of other things I had to do. I was taking classes like 3 times a week. It was, like I said, it was really intensive.
It's very, time consuming. Yeah.
And so it went into a lot of our stream time. And then Ken's schedule, he got moved from evenings to days.
Yeah.
So our whole, he had been doing that for 8 years?
Oh, yeah. No, it'd been a while. It'd been a long time that I've been doing that. I just cannot seem to get shaped down.
8 years, you're used to going to bed at 3:30 in the morning to suddenly, no, we need to be in bed by 10.
Yeah.
It really threw off our schedule as well. And so I'm sorry we never made an announcement. We never really talked about it. It wasn't anything. It was just life.
I did what every successful YouTuber does and just went totally silent for a couple months and just didn't tell anybody anything. And, here I am.
I wish it could be some great grandiose story we fucking did a heist and we now own some diamond mines, and then we bombed them and just
mine in Zambia.
And then we destroyed it and gave all the money back to the locals, and they're making a film about it or something. I wish you could say we did something really cool, but it was just boring. It was just life.
I will say though, this Santa is probably a little more boring than the last Santa that I did. Because I just did a twerking Santa gif. So if you want to see that, check out my Insta at Kenjamin Art, or my Blue Sky or Threads, all Kenjamin Art. So self-plug.
Nice plug, Kenji.
Thank you.
I'm glad you still got the YouTube. I'm glad you still got it.
Got content creation in my veins. You know what?
I do love your headcanon. I don't know. Okay. True story.
Okay.
I am the worst person to be in charge of chat because I do not know how to read certain names. So I apologize if I mispronounce. Do you know how to say their name?
Okay. Well, we've got Coral, who we know.
Yes.
Epixelate Shark.
Pixelit. Okay,
Yeah.
that's how you say
Shark.
this.
Shark is a good shorthand for them as well.
Well, I wanted to say their whole name.
That's fair.
I wanted, before I immediately got onto like a first name basis and like, hey Shark, how's it going, bud?
I've also had the benefit of chatting with her in like other streams and everything. So thank you both for showing up to support the return.
Well, thank you, Shark. I before we got onto a first name basis, I just wanted to make sure. But I do like her headcanon is that is what she said is my headcanon is that you did do the heist, but said it was life to cover it up. I mean, I can't.
We can neither confirm nor deny.
Get out of my head. Get out of my
it's
head.
cozy.
Okay, so this is the thing about us streaming is that Ken and I share the same brain.
We finish each other's sandwiches all the time.
Yeah, we're that cute freaking couple.
I just made a Frozen reference. Oh my gosh.
Was that a Frozen reference?
I'm pretty sure that was a Frozen reference.
That sounds... you know what?
The Love is an Open Door song. We finish each other's sandwiches.
That was... Okay,
Yeah.
that was... okay. Okay.
I am that nerd.
I've only seen the movie once.
Oh my
in
gosh.
theaters. I think with you.
How many times? I don't think I've really watched it that much more regularly.
I was gonna ask.
Thankfully, like, a lot of, like, the youngins that I am an uncle to, like, I didn't necessarily hang out with them as much during their Frozen time.
Their Frozen era.
Their Frozen era, yes. So I think I kind of missed the boat on that, though. Although I did find Nemo an absurd amount of times, thanks to my niece Elise.
I was gonna say, is this when I find out your secret like passion for Frozen, and you actually have like a secret bunker where you have all the collectibles that you from like every like movie release, all the collectible Barbie dolls and other
Steph,
toys.
how dare you unveil my secret bunker to the world? How dare you?
Oh, but this was just an educated guess. Wow, I got it right. I really am a professional mind reader. Wow. Oh, I bet Izzy's the right age for Frozen.
Yeah. For sure.
You gross couples. Slash J. Go with my best Sonic voice. Man, I'm glad that, it can be so many months and I can still just jump into my Sonic voice as if we just streamed.
Natural.
Yeah, like yesterday. Oh, man. Though I've only ever seen Frozen once. And, I mean, I've got spicy opinions. My only spiciest opinion. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are we ready for the spice?
Oh my god, the spice must flow.
The spice must flow. I hated the little rock guys.
Oh, the little gnomes?
I hated them.
But Eric Idle voiced like the leader. I mean, that's fair. He who cares who voiced it? If the writing isn't good, to support it, I totally get it. They did feel kind of out of place.
It felt like there were too many cooks in the kitchen. There were too many people trying to write one script, and they couldn't fucking figure it out. The rock little guys, their songs fucking sucked, and there was no they served no purpose except. What? Excuse me.
Sorry, you're telling me merchandising isn't a purpose?
Yeah, fuck that shit. Fuck you, Disney. They had already 5 other merchandising products.
Oh, I know, right? Olaf isn't enough.
Yeah,
come on.
yeah. And please tell me how many of those plushy little rock gnome guys you have in your underground bunker. I can't recall.
All of them?
I can't recall any of those actually being toys. Their song was weird and cringy and awkward.
Yeah.
It really didn't develop the plot.
It really wasn't to kiss the girl like they were hoping it would be.
Anyone else could have gotten them from point A to point B, but it was just unnecessary filler. It was really unnecessary filler.
I super get that.
And again, it just felt like there were too many cooks in the kitchen. They probably had way too many writers working on the same script, and they weren't talking to each other. That's just what it felt like. So the story felt very disjointed. And then we're doing this, and then we're doing this. But at least they got their Defying Gravity song. Which, now that Wicked's out, everyone knows what I'm talking about.
I did not close that line, which is something I am known to do.
'Cause nobody in all of us, no wizard that there is or was, is ever gonna bring me down. I won't do it.
Gosh. We saw that, maybe 2 weeks ago? A week ago? It wasn't that long ago. But yeah. No, it is delightful. Wicked was a fun time. Yeah.
Coral says, when you pick, or you practice a voice, it says, I have tried to get rid of my surfer voice from theater, but dude, it won't go. Yes, Olaf is the merchandising. It wasn't the stupid, like, but yeah, like, going to see Wicked was absolute nostalgia. I once saw it with my bestie, and she and I were like those theater girls, like, in high school, and fucking, I think we went and saw Wicked together too. Original cast. It was fucking wonderful. It was wonderful seeing our two original, like, Elphaba and Glenda taking the stage. I won't spoil anything,
they
but
had a really delightful cameo.
their cameo was so fucking delightful. I loved it. Because she was like, she did the belting. Like, she was like, ah! Like, she was trying to, it was very cute. It was very... But,
like, I'm Idina Menzel, notice me. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but then she was the one who voiced...
she was Elphaba in the Broadway.
No, Elsa.
Oh, yeah, well, both, yeah.
Is it Elsa in Frozen?
She did the singing for Elsa. I don't know if she did, like, the voice acting.
I thought she did the voice, too.
I know she did the singing. She might have done the voice, too.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
They wanted
we could Google it.
Yeah, I guess, but...
Google, what's that? Ugh.
So, yeah, they got their Defying Gravity song, and everybody sings it. And you know what? I do like that silly song. But it's... Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
All right, gonna drop some hot truths.
More spice.
More spice. Not hot truths, more spice.
Okay, so in my time of doing yoga, like this year-long training, a lot of was common in these yoga classes was to end with like poetry or something, which is just very westernized, very whitewashed spirituality and shit. And there was one of my yoga teachers who was always read this poem, and it essentially went like this. And then she let it go. She didn't think about when she was going to let it go. She didn't put in her itinerary. She didn't plan it out. She didn't overthink it. She didn't think about when she was going to let it go or how to let it go. She just let it go. She didn't also think about it, and she talked about some friends, and friends didn't give her ideas about how to let it go. She didn't talk to her therapist. She didn't talk to her mother. She just let it go. And it just continues on and on and on. All I can think of is that song. And two, it ain't that fucking simple.
Jeez.
Not for my neurodivergent, very hyperactive ADHD brain, okay? Like, if it was as easy as turning off, like light switch, just like this, switch. It's a cool little Mormon trick.
You know, I love that just like our return is just Broadway play musicals. Like, that's how we're returning, is just talking about Broadway. Like,
I mean, we did do a stream like that.
Are we theater nerds? Like, I think we might be theater nerds.
Kinda, yeah. Okay. As you're working on your old Saint Nick.
Old Saint Nick.
I was gonna say, so they're speaking of pegging and pagans.
Oh, gee, I hate that those two things rhyme. And
when you said it,
I said pagans, and I feel like, given that it's a Yule stream, you should have known through context clues.
Oh, excuse me, princess.
Excuse me, princess.
Oh, thank you, Shark. Shark says there's no better way to return than with Broadway.
Thank you. I know Coral is a big theater nerd, so you're welcome to.
You do gotta see Book of Mormon at one of these days.
I'm at a point where I can watch that movie, or well, the play, I think, because like I had a lot of friends who just growing up when the play finally came out, I just got inundated with the music. I didn't have any choice but to hear that music, and it just was a little overwhelming, admittedly, but I like to think I've healed enough that I could watch that musical now.
You know, I felt that way, that I think I'd be okay being around Christians during my yoga teacher training. And I was very wrong. I have complex Christian PTSD. And one of the books I was required to buy, had legit Bible verses in it. Yeah, you'd think, like, Eastern philosophy and spirituality. There were no, like, quotes from, like, the Torah or the Quran, so it wasn't about, like, inclusivity or anything like that. This guy was a Christian and AA member, and he just tried to bring his
12-step into it.
Yeah, into yoga, which was cool. And, no, I had a terrible time. I'm not cool around Christians. And when the Mormons invaded our house that one time.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
My uncle?
Yes. When the Mormons invaded our home. Uninvited. Had to give them some of my Halloween cookies to get them the hell out of there.
Oh, my gosh.
I tried the whole, like, welp.
Yeah, hands on the knees. Yeah.
Welp.
Yeah.
I tried a couple of times. I was just like... I had to ask him how tall he was, so he could stand up at all like 6'9" inches.
6'6". My uncle is 6'6".
Very proud.
Yes.
I'm not going to make that joke,
proud.
but very proud of how tall that man is.
You say you're not going to, but we know what you mean.
Yeah, I know.
Ugh, you implied it.
I'm sorry.
No,
he is an old man.
I'm not going to argue with you on that. I honestly, like, when I'm around my uncle, like, that's the only time I really feel short. Well, that and my brother and his son, too. It's, ugh.
I did grow a couple inches doing so much yoga.
You did.
Yeah.
Yoga helped you with your scoliosis.
Now it doesn't make the letter S for Stephanie and scoliosis anymore. It's almost back to normal.
Almost.
Again, there's a lot of reasons why I do yoga. Coral agrees that doing classic Pacific Northwest, no, yeah, I feel the same. I cannot stay calm around the Mormons. Yeah, I'm sorry that you live, and your home is also invaded by the Mormons. I'm very sorry.
Little subtext, because I don't necessarily talk about it in other people's streams either, but I was raised Mormon, which was an experience for sure. It didn't necessarily have the best experience, so there's that. So hopefully I'm not sounding like too terrible on it. I know, like, the Mormon Church really does love to try to say, like, oh, you people who leave, there's something wrong with them, which sounds an awful lot like, oh, it's not my fault. I just have all these crazy ex-girlfriends. Like,
yeah.
It's so weird. How do they keep finding me?
So weird.
Like, it's so much just that same kind of,
gaslighting?
Gaslighting, yeah. I mean, it's going to be like, it's poetry, it rhymes. But yeah.
I, in my yoga teacher training, after I found these very, like, again, fucking legit Bible verses in this stupid book that was supposed to be about
Eastern
yogic philosophy. Yogic philosophy. That in the book it says, well, the 8 limbs of yoga, which there's so much I can say because I fucking spent a whole year learning this stupid shit. It's not stupid, but
the way it was presented to you was stupid.
Yeah, they like to present the 8 limbs of yoga of Patanjali as just the 8 limbs, as if it's like the 10 Commandments. This book legit calls them, oh, it's essentially like the 10 Commandments. And I'm like, where in the 8 limbs of yoga does it say thou shalt not have any other god before me?
Yeah, right.
Because they kind of have multiple gods. I don't know if you know that. Yeah. But when I had shared with the teacher, I said, hey, so I have severe complex Christian PTSD, and can I get a different book? Because the Bible verses in this is incredibly triggering for me.
Really bringing you down, man.
And the look on her face was like she was shocked and horrified. and people were like Bible verses, and I pull out the book, and I'm like, here,
Yeah.
on page this, on page this, on page this, and I even called all of that shit out, and that's why people didn't like me and why I had a terrible time. Because I can't stand that shit, and go figure, they didn't like me very much, but whatever. She to her benefit, she was like, well, let me go look and see, and I'll find another book for you. At least she was willing to work with me. She gave me another book, and it still sucked. It wasn't very good. But I imagine that she had a lot of lesson planned with that book, and because I said something, she was like, oh shit, well, I have to throw all that out the door.
Well, didn't mean to
Crash and burn!
Didn't mean to hit my keyboard so hard there.
I love the nose on this little
Thank
Santa.
you. I love big noses on my characters, especially like big boys like Santa Claus here. Like just that big nose. It helps with the silhouetting too for like, character design. Like it's just good character.
It makes me think of Rankin Bass Hobbits.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
They got big schnozzes.
They do. They absolutely do. And like that, God, that is probably my favorite version of The Hobbit. I'm looking at you too, Peter Jackson. Ooh, shots fired.
Come on, Thranduil's pretty hot though. You gotta admit.
Okay. But like, I never thought like I would see a dwarf fresh out of the shampoo mines, though. You know.
I mean, those were also very handsome dwarves.
They were very handsome dwarves.
Oin and Gloin. I mean, hotties.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very like reminiscent of that. I was gonna talk about a whole thing about paganism, but I'll finish my little story about where I was going with this whole and then I was gonna circle back talking about Santa because I got some things to say about old Saint Nick. And I know everyone knows about Coca-Cola and shit, but I have more things to say. But what I was going to say, just to wrap up my other story, was after that class, because we'd have some classes on Zoom, and then we'd go into the studio to do things in person. So the part that I had said, like, hey, I have severe complex PTSD around Christianity, can I have a different book? And she did give me another book, like I said. She was willing to work with me at that point, and then later on it just there's more. But again, a whole year's worth of really stupid bullshit. But when I got into the studio later that day, maybe a couple hours later, this other woman comes up to me and she's like, I just want to say I'm really sorry. I'm like, huh? Oh, that you have complex, PTSD about, or did you went through so much with the church? I do consider myself a Christian, and I've never experienced that. And I'm just thinking to myself, oh,
yeah.
No,
Charming.
You got really triggered because I said it, because you know that your cult hurts people. You know that your cult hurts people. Sure. And I called it out, and you had to come and say that because your community is in your church, and your whole marriage is only kept together by loose little threads because of your cult. And by me saying, no, your cult hurts people, it's kind of unweaving a lot of your shits. And can I say, is there a possibility that Christianity's never hurt some people? Absolutely, absolutely. But I think you gotta be kind of like a mafia wife to some degree to continue to be in those types of spaces that says horrible things about my fellow queer community, my trans friends, women, cis and trans and gender fluid, like that we are the servants of men, like to really know that it only exists to control people. And you can say that with your whole fucking chest and say, well, it's never hurt me. And I'm like, oh, well, if you aren't self-aware enough of that, then that's you, honey. But I think you do know that it does. And the fact that you felt so uncomfortable by me saying that you had to come and talk to me about it, I was just like, oh, okay. And I just sat there waiting for her to say the next thing, and she got really awkward. She was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
this isn't how I was expecting that conversation to go.
I was like, okay. Yeah. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? I legit asked her that. She's like, no, I just wanted to tell you that I'm really sorry that happened. I'm like, okay. That doesn't change it. That doesn't make my PTSD go away, honey.
Yeah, like, are you wanting me to ask you more? Because I'm not really interested in asking more right now.
Yeah, like, if you got something to say, just fucking say it, honey. Like, it's not gonna change anything. Yeah. Like, you realized what you did in that moment, and she to her defense, she's a very sweet person, and she was like legit trying to engage and talk with me and learn more things. She actually came to my first full moon yoga class. She is a very genuinely kind, nice person. I have nice things to say about this person. It was a weird, awkward thing though that she did. Yeah. I'm just like, okay, is there anything else? Like, what do you want from me? But oh, I'm paying attention to the chat. Coral, don't get me started on Lord of the Rings. Oh no. Their girlfriend made me watch Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and now I'm obsessed, and I'm watching the Amazon show with her right now. Oh, that's so cute.
That's outstanding.
What's worse is that I suggested we watch that. Oh, hey, Rachel's in the chat. Welcome. Okay. Oh man, I was gonna talk about Santa. I was gonna talk about paganism.
You want to talk about Lord of the Rings?
God, now I have to fucking talk about Lord of the Rings.
Jeez.
Okay,
twist your
before
arm.
I get into Lord of the Rings, because I got a lot to say.
You have to lay down your street cred.
Yeah, that too. And but first, I was going to comment on this really cute, adorable, roly-poly.
I'm really loving how this Santa's
this is
along.
a good Santa.
This is a great Santa.
Like, yeah, the red Coca-Cola Santa. Yeah,
I give the people what they want.
I was going to say one thing about Santa is that there's a lot of people who try to say that Santa is Odin, and I can see that, but it's not exactly that. There's so much, like, internet toil about, like, my fellow pagans talking about, like, he's Santa. No, he's not. Do your research. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, oh, my God. Can you just find literally anything else to talk about? I always wait for it every single year, and it's always like, bingo, there it is. Somebody started talking, having the argument about Santa not being Odin, or it is, and But, the reason why some people say that, and I can see the influence, I can see the inspiration. Odin, in Norse mythology and Germanic mythology, or Wotan in Germany, he has so many. Okay, first of all, he is the most gender fucking queer deity, more so than Loki.
Yeah.
I've met many devotees of Odin who use they them pronouns for Odin because of just how genderqueer they are. Like, really, truly. Again, more so than Loki. And Loki gave birth to a horse. Odin's constantly changing gender, like having sex with lots of different genders, being gender neutral.
Are you telling me Santa is all these things too, then?
My point is that he takes on many different forms. Yeah. And one of his many forms is the Wish Father. And as the Wish Father, it's so small I can't see him.
I'll zoom back in.
Yeah.
I'm loving this Santa.
And so one of the many forms is the Wish Father, and in that one he comes around the Yuletide, and he has this very special wand that was made for him by the elves, where he grants wishes and gives gifts and that kind of stuff. So I can see the influence. Was it the origin of Santa? You're kind of slicing. You're splitting hairs, honestly. Yeah. So I see it I can see it both ways. But this guy is cute. I could say that this is another gender queer Odin.
He's got such, like,
so small on my screen
vibes. Well, you're also on your phone.
Yeah, and a lot of people are on their phones.
I mean, that's fair. But yeah, this little Santa Claus, I'm really happy with
really cute.
This cute little Santa Claus. He's giving off, like, garden gnome vibes to me.
Yeah. Especially with the big nose. Okay, what monster are you doing next?
I guess I should do a monster now.
Because Christmas and Yuletide is more of a fear-based holiday.
That's true.
In the UK, they tell ghost stories.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you think maybe the Mary Lloyd next?
Mary Lloyd!
All right,
Mary
let's do
Lloyd!
the heckin' Mary Lloyd
Yes!
next. All right.
Okay, and then I'm going to totally nerd out about Lord of the Rings. But first, who's the Mary
Let's check in with
Lloyd?
it. Oh, Mary Lloyd. So,
I was going to say...
Oh, excuse me.
but
I thought
if
you were
wanna talk-
asking me.
I was asking a, what is that?
The audience, the generalized kind of...
I forget. My 5th grade teacher taught this word to me. It's like, you know those teachers that teach you things that are like, that you remember for all of your life except for the moment you need it?
The royal you kind of thing?
No, like something type of question.
Oh, rhetorical.
Yeah, rhetorical question. The Mary Lloyd is, it's a Welsh, but you see in like a lot of other parts of the UK, but I believe its origin is Welsh. It's a hobby horse, and a hobby horse is like somebody like with a horse head and a big cloak to kind of pretend to walk around like a horse. But this isn't a horse head, it's a horse skull.
I mean, technically.
And where the eyes are, they put beautiful ornaments, usually very shiny green or red ornaments into the eyes. And so the people who dress up as the Mary Lloyd, as this hobby horse, they go around door to door, and they basically do epic rap battles.
Yes.
Where
Seasonal
you gotta
rap battles.
You gotta like do an epic rap battle with the Mary Lloyd, and if you lose, you have to let the Mary Lloyd in, and you gotta give them like beer and seasonal treats and stuff. And if you win, then they go away. But the whole thing is the Mary Lloyd's trying to get into your home.
Yeah.
And so there's more traditions of that. There's some people who theorize that it's kind of another version of Gwynedd Knob. I believe that's how you say it. I really apologize, Rowan, who actually always corrects me because they actually do know how to pronounce things in Welsh. I am German, and I don't. But that is a kind of like a... When you think of a green man or you think of a horned god type of horned deity. And of course, I'm overly simplifying, not to do disservice to this deity or to the culture or anything. But for those who aren't familiar with Gwynedd Nod, I can't. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm of no assistance here.
Yeah. But, yeah. There's some theories but it's people talk about scary things. This is one of the more tamer ones, but it is like a fucking like ghost skeleton
you still
horse.
have like a skull coming to your door.
Yeah. Trying to get into your house.
Let me in.
Yeah. Rachel is talking about how she's dealt with a lot of BS from the Mormons and Catholics in her family. Don't see eye to eye after I left the Catholic Church. Fuck yes. Good job getting the hell out. I think that's the hardest part, honestly.
Yeah.
Out of any sort of religion, especially if you grew up with it, and especially if you've got like seasonal traditions around the religion. But I mean, like Christmas is so much more pagan than it is Christian.
Totally.
And this whole like war on Christmas and blah blah blah. I mean, it's a weird thing to me, just because I'm like, so you're saying this is a war on Christmas because we're just calling you out because you're doing pagan shit and you're mad about it?
I think they're mad that they're having to learn something is what it is.
I mean, you can just look this shit up on
Dare
Wiki.
you teach me anything.
The thing about with my own mother, and I'm no contact with my mother, so I'm not worried about her watching, or maybe she does and she cries, I don't know. But shout out to my mom if you're watching and crying.
Yeah.
But I always tell her, I'm just like, this information, and this was in like the early 2000s when I broke up with Jesus. 2004 specifically is when I broke up with Jesus. I just remember because I was 18 years old.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
2003 would have been. Well, no, I mean we would have turned 19 in 2004.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry, we're both the same age. For those who don't know, I'm all of 5 weeks older than Steph.
Yeah. So. Which is great to have somebody else to help remember how old we are. I'm like, how old are we? Oh my god. But yeah. So like, I was just like, you can just look this up online. Like, even back then, in the early days of the internet,
Yeah, we had Ask Jeeves.
well, Wikipedia existed back then. And I'm just like,
I just wanted to age us a little bit more.
yeah. I'm like, you can ask Jeeves, you can literally just look this shit up on Wikipedia. Like, it's not hard to find this information. Like, it's not
at all.
It's not hard. And she always got mad about that. I'm just like, well, you always claim that she loved to brag that I studied all of the world religions before.
I'm a historian.
Yeah, she called herself a scholar.
Yeah.
She called herself a Christian scholar, and I'm just like,
What does that even mean?
so, where did you go to school? Where did you matriculate?
Matriculate?
Means, where did you go to college?
I didn't go to college.
No, she didn't. She didn't. Yeah, I love that one too, Rachel, when people are like, you're gonna go to hell. I'm like, okay. First of all, speaking on putting on my nerd glasses, my other nerd glasses to go over my nerd glasses.
You're getting yourself worked up in a tizzy.
I mean, what kind of comeback could we have unless I got worked up into a tizzy?
It's content.
Yes. Hell is a Norse concept. It's a Norse and Germanic concept. It's named after the goddess Hel and her realm of Helheim, and Christianity took it and tried to demonize it so they could again have power and control, and taking women power away from women. Like that's all it fucking is, and away from genderqueer people, because they existed back then very, very much so, especially and among the spiritual, the practices of Sather, which is like the witches and the things that they were doing. But not that I can go on that for a while. No, I'm going to talk about Lord of the Rings. Woo! Great segue!
God.
Because I know that Coral is watching the Rings of Power series with their girlfriend.
Elves behaving badly.
Ooh, ooh.
Elves not acting like elves.
That's the Silmarillion.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm enjoying it though. You know what?
Oh yeah.
My very first tattoo, which is now covered up, was what was it? Hanmun the High. I feel it in the earth, and Tengwar Elvish. I am that nerd.
Tengwar.
Yes, it's not Sylvan. It was the language specifically spoken by the High Elves.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I turned on a different type of ink. Excuse me. Simple. Why? How did I?
Oh my goodness!
Spray?
Cursed.
Okay, that was me. I hit the wrong thing.
But yes. So yeah, my very first tattoo was in Lord of the Rings, and it was like, because God, those movies came out while we were in high school, and so those were like really big deal for us. And it's so cool because like there are people who are like who grew up with it, who are really, really into it as well. And so like there's a whole group of us, whole bunch of us who are super into Lord of the Rings. We're like, yay! Oh, Legolas. His name means green leaf, and his last name is Greenleaf. Legolas Greenleaf, Greenleaf, Greenleaf is his name. Real clever there, Thranduil.
Yeah.
You know the funniest thing about Lord of the Rings lore? And I know that you know this, but I don't know how many other people know this.
Yeah.
So, Tolkien, he was just really, 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 really into dead languages and translating old things. And he really loved, like, he has his own translation of Beowulf and a few other, like, stories of Norse mythology. Spoilers, the Lord of the Rings series is totally the Nibelungenlied, which is just the Ring Saga. It's Norse mythology. The way Gandalf is described is exactly how Odin is described, down to the gray hat and everything. He got a little weird and Christian with some shit, which, you know, okay, whatever. My mom got really weird with Lord of the Rings and made it very Jesus-y, and I'm like, so about that. And, you know, I mean, Tolkien was doing with his own Tolkien thing.
Gonna talk.
And, but the biggest, the funniest Lord of the Rings lore. It won't spoil anything, but his approach to writing the books was that the real names are not actually what's written in the book.
Yeah.
Like, Merry and Pippin have completely different their real names.
The English translation of their name.
Okay, so the way Tolkien wrote his books
I want that to be blue.
is as if he found these ancient texts like he would with Beowulf or these other things, and he was basically trying to translate them into his language. So if he got some of the details wrong, it's because it was an error of translation, because he was that nerd.
Yeah.
So, like, Merry, like, all the hobbits have completely, their real names are completely different. I don't even remember them because they're just so bizarre, bananas, cuckoo, off the wall kind of names. But yeah, it was, he said, well, that was his translation for their names. And it's just, Tolkien was that nerd. He was that nerd.
So I'm going to do a little thingamajig.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
for
gosh.
all the pixel artists out there, I think Pixelit, you might find this interesting. This is a little trick I learned on friggin' Pinterest of all places. So what I do is I make some circles to be the size that I want it to be. This is for figuring out like a floor circle in ISO. I duplicate that, and then I get commented on this all the time. Like, this shows up in a lot of like my time-lapse videos. People kind of notice it. It's a bit of a alchemy, if you will.
Wow.
So let's... Sorry for cutting you off on your Lord of the Rings rant there.
Oh no, it gives me time to catch up on the chat.
Yeah, totally. Okay. So then from here, I will go about that. And, oh, that was... still on the same layer. Okay, I need to make a new layer for that. Well, potentially. I like doing new layers. I am lousy with layers.
Because you're a professional artist.
It's so much easier to work with multiple layers than do a single layer. Like, not trying to call out, like, Mickey or anything. He likes working on a single layer, and I don't know how he does it. Love the guy. Mickey, if you're watching, because I know he's working tonight, but, like, love you, dude. I can't work that way.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, Steph.
Guess what percentage my phone has?
Is your phone at 69%?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so then I've done... I am kind of shorthanding some of these circles. There is a bit more of a process to it that I'm kind of ignoring. But, I mean, you kind of see that I'm getting the job done is what matters. But you can see that I basically built 4 circles for this. And now I'm not on the right layer at all. I'm just going to lower the opacity some. And this is how I figure out how to do floor circles. So, maybe, okay. Before that, let's turn...
Hey, there he is. There's our Mary Lloyd.
There's our little Mary Lloyd sprite that I'm working on.
Ah, they're gone!
That's because I'm... Oh, jeez, it's so far over. I'm just trying to use the symmetry tools now to my advantage, but just because I'm being lazy.
Shark says Mickey is insane.
Love him to death. He draws out his own gradients for things, and it's like that is so time consuming, man. But anyway. So yeah, this little thingamajig, like, you can see that I created the circles and I used the overlaps to create my floor circle. So that's how I go about doing a lot of this stuff.
Magic.
And that's pertinent because now you can see that's how I figured out how to do the wreath crown for the Mary Lloyd here.
That is pretty perfect.
That's a little bit bigger than what I want, but I've got a really good base for kind of finagling from here. So I'm probably going to tweak this a little bit more because I want to make sure that the Christmas ornaments and the eyes are defined and noticeable. But yeah, so that's a little brief Pixeling with Kenji segment.
I agree with Shark that that's an awesome hack and an awesome pixel hack.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Coral also wanted to add that they find that it's very funny that you guys, me and you, are going all ooh over my girlfriend of soon to be 2 years now.
Mazel tov!
Aw, congratulations!
That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that.
Oh, that's so even. Oh, that's so cute. Well, congratulations, you two. Maybe one day I will know more about them other than girlfriend. But right now, congratulations, Coral and girlfriend.
Yes. All right.
Whoa!
Excuse me, I was trying to be... You know what? I should... Okay. I'm trying to be lazy in deleting this shit, so... There we go. I'm just... working weird. Anyway.
So weird, Kenjin.
I'm a little weird guy.
Yeah,
I'm
just a little weird guy. And so Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Yes. Sorry. You're now returned to your scheduled content of Steph nerding out about Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. L-O-R-T. 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 Yeah. But, yeah, I've been a big Lord of the Rings fan. And you know, like... I mean, it's classic. It's classic fantasy, man. It's just it does all the things. And Ken joking around about me, you know, gotta represent. I was born with pointed ears.
You were.
I have naturally pointy ears. I'm a blondie with gray eyes.
People ask you where you got your ears done. You say the womb.
And they kind of give me a weird look. And they're like, what?
It's not plastic surgery.
I'm like, no, because there is a surgery you can do to tip your ears. I've heard that it's incredibly painful, though.
Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I think gender-affirming care, you know. I play around with fae pronouns in addition to she, her. She, fae are my pronouns. So, you know, people who are more invested in like, fae pronouns for them specifically, I can see how that be gender-affirming care.
Yeah, totally.
I was just born like this, and so I got called a lot of things. I was called elf a lot in grade school.
I mean, thank goodness it was Lord of the Rings elves and not Santa elves.
I thought he meant Santa elves. I thought there was this very sweet boy. Shout out to Kyle. And he would like call me an elf. I'm like, screw you, and I'd beat him up in the playground.
Because you thought he meant Santa elf.
I did, and then I went to a different high school than that group of kids did because I was getting bullied a lot, and I had a lot of really bad stuff going on with my mental health at that time of my life. And so I went to a completely different high school, brand new start. But then I happened to be at that high school because it was the one that had the biggest theater and for like a show we were doing. And he happened to be there. And I'm like, I don't know if you remember me, but I remember this. And he was like, no, I do remember. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. I thought you meant that. He's like, I always thought it was really weird that you got really upset. I was trying to give you a compliment. So like, it was very, very sweet. And then I got to have that redemption arc all those years.
Redemption arc, yeah.
All those years later. But I did have a very creepy coworker who used to call me Galadriel.
Yeah, didn't he also ask you, like, if you needed to sleep at night or if you only needed to meditate, like, D&D elf rules?
Yeah, he started with... Because he always talked out of the side of his mouth.
Oh, no!
He always talked out of the side of
You
his mouth.
never told me that detail!
Yeah.
Oh, no!
Like,
oh, no!
He'd be like,
oh, no.
do you ever get tired?
This isn't like an ASMR podcast, I promise.
Sorry if I got a little too loud there, friends. Yeah, he would he started with, do you ever get tired?
Oh, you didn't tell me that detail. Oh, did B make an appearance?
She's underneath my chair. Big sweetheart. Our kitty cat, Beatrice. Yeah. So he was a royal creep. He would make lots of very unprofessional, suggestive comments to me.
Oh, gross.
And he called me Galadriel frequently. And when I tried talking to my bosses about it, like, oh, he's just awkward. Like, he's just like, he doesn't mean any harm.
That's kind of the problem, though, is like he didn't learn how not to be awkward, and that's kind of important.
And it's not like I was like, oh, tee-hee, avoid you. I was like, actually, I don't really like those comments. Like, please, can you stop? Because I was his boss. I was the shift manager, and I worked the evening shift, and I was closing all by myself. And he would be sitting in his car waiting, and I'm like, oh my god, please, okay, got my keys in between my fingers, like
Wolverine claws.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm just hoping he's just waiting for make sure that I'm safe. I'm just gonna go forward with that. But yeah. So I've had I've had other people who are like, hey, Miss Elf. So, and then just like, yeah, but I mean, I don't know what to say other than,
super awkward.
I've embraced my fairy nature, and like I said, I play with fair pronouns, and I have in my office, I'm a professional tarot rune reader. By trade, Reiki energy healing. Now yoga teaching. Woo. And so, I mean, like, I have fairy shit all over my fucking office. I have 2 little fairies that a friend gave to me that are just like, they look like...
Your doormen? Yeah.
That look like they are haunted and cursed.
Yes.
And I fucking love them.
Your cursed children.
They're little elves. They are more like Santa's elves. But one's like they're missing their instruments. They're from like the 30s.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
My friend just dropped them off, and they're like, no one would buy them because
they're your problem now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like, they're like, no one wanted to buy them, so they got pawned off on me, and they need to go here. I'm like, fuck yes. So I wrote a little poem for Larry the Fairy and Tuck.
Who likes to fuck.
No, we don't say that part
out
loud.
Me. We're not monetized. We can say whatever we want.
People come to my office. It's okay. Tuck does fuck. And there's just these weird little guys and people. So I left a little little dish, and I said, like, please leave a little gift, like a little trinket, a little charm. For some good luck. I promise you will come to no harm. Like, I did this little thing for them. And people fucking love them. Larry and Tuck, the fairies. Larry the Fairy and Tuck. My little weird cursed children. So I do lean into it. So I am paying attention to the chat. Coral says, I mean, you're more than willing to then spend like a day with y'all. I miss seeing y'all.
I'd love to have you over too.
Yeah, that would be fun. Shark says, so if you punched him in the face, all he had to say was, you're awkward, right? Then you're good. That was going to be my, like, legit, like, sorry, I'm just so awkward. Punch. Like, whoops, I just slipped and punched the guy in the throat. I don't know what the fuck happened. Yeah. That job was, yeah. I made really good money. I was doing debt collection, actually.
Yeah.
I was the nicest debt collector you ever met. And I learned a lot of things about payday loans. Specifically, they do not report to the credit bureau. So
that's good to know.
You don't ever have to pay them back. Here's some inside intel.
A little inside baseball.
Yeah. So people like to take out payday loans because they think it'll help their credit. It doesn't. I mean, they're nice in case if you've got an emergency. Like, I know people who do use them responsibly. But they're definitely predatory loans. Yeah. But you never have to pay them back. Even if they sell your debt to a third-party debt collection agency and they lie to you and threaten you, you can just say cease and desist, and they have to. They have to cease and desist, and you never have to pay those loans back. You just never get to do business with that company again until you pay it back. Yeah. So, Merry Christmas.
Fight the power.
Fight the power. Oh, thank you, Rachel. I think they're very cute, too. And Coral says, girlfriend says, thank you for the kind words. You're welcome, girlfriend. Aww. We'd love to meet you one day.
I'm so glad that, like, at least I hope this is the case, Coral, but I hope that, like, you're at girlfriendo's house and not your house, because I'm sure a lot of this stuff, like, if you were listening to it out loud and my mother heard me speaking, oh, hey! Lord. Oh, that would be awkward.
I mean, oh, your mother.
Oh, your mother.
Oh, your mother.
My mother, she is, has her opinions, we'll say.
Oh my goodness. Well, we have in truth, we have not really hung out with your mom in a long time.
Yeah, I kind of avoid them for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh crap, that's not what I wanted.
I'm so glad we're finally at the stage in our life where we're like, fuck social obligations, fuck these like family party gatherings. They're not fun.
Like, COVID really helped with that too. I'm not gonna lie. Like, just the pandemic of not having to show up. Like, oh, I'm never doing this again.
Ken?
Yeah?
So they are not at the girlfriend's house. But they do have headphones, so you're safe.
Oh, okay, okay. Nearly gave me a heart attack there.
I think your mom can handle it.
Oh, I mean, I've broken her heart once by leaving the church. You know, what more could I do?
Okay, that's a funny story. Can I share?
Oh my God, sure. We can tell that story.
Okay, just real quick. Ken had already left the church a long time ago, but Mormons are fucking weird, and they'll hold onto your personal records so they can stalk you.
Because apparently taking a bath with your dad at 8 years old is a legally binding contract.
And so, in order to get your records, your personal information, your address, your phone number, email address, other things, they refuse to just willingly remove this information because they want the ability to stalk you. Yeah, so Ken went through a website called quitmormon.org. Yeah. Now, nowadays, it's a little bit more complicated. There are a few more steps involved.
You can still go through Quit Mormon. It's just the church somehow pulled some sort of legal fuckery and is like, oh, you need a legal affidavit to stating that you are who you say you are, because we don't believe anyone would ever want to leave our church of their own free will.
Yeah. So it's not impossible, but it is a free service, if I understand correctly.
It might have changed. I mean, it was 2019 when I went through that service.
So, but at the time, it was a free service, and Ken could just ask these lawyers to represent him and basically force the Mormon Church to remove his records permanently. Yep. And so Ken went through that whole line and did the thing, and they were just kind of like, okay, we'll get back to you when it's completed. Mm-hmm.
Which they did.
But not before your mother did.
My mom texted me like maybe the Sunday before, because I think it was a Wednesday that I got the email from Quit Mormon that my records had been removed. My mom texted me the Sunday prior and was like, your name didn't show up on the roster today, like on the attendance record. Like, did you have your name removed? And I'm like, yes I did. Cool, I'm glad to know that it worked. But yeah, like 3 days later, I finally got the word from Quit Mormon that that my records had been removed. And it's like, oh, cool. Mormon Church is just full of snitches, aren't they?
Full of snitches and bitches. Rachel adds that the Mormon Church kind of reminded her of Scientology and how they like to spy on you.
There's a lot of similarities. I'm not gonna lie.
So to answer your question, Coral, your other aunt is. I'm not going to say names to answer your question.
On our side of the family, they only have the one aunt. Well, I mean, the one aunt that's not through marriage. So.
Oh, thank you for clarifying.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
They asked, are any of her kids still in the church?
Oh.
So it would be. I don't want to say names.
4 out of 5 have left the church, and I think you've already put together who.
Yeah, your other aunt.
Yeah.
Of those kids.
Your mother's sister. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the easier way to say that.
Yeah. is
fumbling
still
through the
in
words, yeah.
still in the church.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Let me read the Yeah, it'd be your mom, or excuse me, your grandma, grandpa, and your one aunt. That's still out of everyone in that whole entire house. Still,
the rest of us have left.
Yeah. Which, again, that's the hardest thing. I when Ken and I met, you were still Mormon, and I remember when we met, I just asked a lot of questions because at that point I was very, 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 very pagan, and I know a lot of people liked because the South Park episode had just come out.
Oh yeah, I mean, Book of Mormon was pretty popular at that point too.
For those who have not seen the movie, it just came out.
Heretic. Oh my god, that was such a good movie. Oh, that was such a good movie.
It was really good. There's a joke in that, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but it was a really good movie.
It was.
It's not just about Mormonism. It talks about world religion as a whole.
Just Mormonism is the vehicle they use to get the protagonists into the situation.
Yeah, but it's really good. It was really, really good film. Yeah. But, a lot of people teased about the magic underwear and, like, that kind of stuff. But I know that I just asked a lot of questions. I'm like, well, if this is really important to you, let's just have a conversation. I'm curious.
Yeah.
Like
I always appreciated that. When I was still in it. But
my first girlfriend was Mormon. I don't know what it is about me and Mormons.
Attract us, yeah.
Do you guys have like a spell? I don't know. Like my gay ass fell for the two Mormons. But my first girlfriend was Mormon, and then that didn't work out. Yeah.
For my benefit, quite frankly.
And then you left, and then it was then that happened. But so technically, you weren't Mormon anymore.
No, I wasn't. No. It was like 2016 that I decided I was done, and then I didn't like the idea of them having my records and being able to count me in their numbers, because they're all about like, we've got X amount of members worldwide. Look at how good we are. Like, we can't be wrong because we've got so many people in our folds. And I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
Another friend of mine who's ex-Mormon was telling me that somebody was like there was a article with some statistics of like, and their numbers are hemorrhaging fast.
Oh yeah, they are.
But of the number of people who are actually registered as Mormon, only a 16th of those people actually show up and give them money. So they're terrified because they're losing money fast, and I don't think they can keep them hidden in offshore accounts anymore and shit. Oh, so blue.
Oh, I see where it's open. Okay. I was trying to figure out. I didn't have a line closed.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, we got Rachel in the chat saying how her cousin married into it, divorced her husband, and doesn't do stuff with the church. Her ex is mad because she won't make their boys go on missions. Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her. It's just brainwashing.
It is.
It's not about getting more members. It's making sure your members don't leave.
Yeah, because it puts the people serving a mission into the mindset of like, oh, the only support I'm ever going to get is from other members.
Yeah.
And it's just a brainwashing tactic.
Absolutely. I was talking about Lord of the Rings, and then I got wrapped up. How the fuck did we talk about Mormonism again?
I mean, we were talking about a bit of my past. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Squirrel.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. I would love to one day, because I have a lot of friends who are into, like, Celtic mythology and stuff. I mostly do Norse mythology in my own pagan path, but I have a lot of friends who are, like, into the Celtic stuff. And one of these days, I'd love to, like, go and do one of these things. I'd love to not do a Krampus costume, even though there is a Lady Krampus. Yeah. I'd rather do Frau Hulda or Frau Persta.
Yeah.
She's the one who will, if you've been a bad kid, she will open you up from your belly.
But she's on the list. We're not there yet. We're still on the Mary Lloyd.
Oh, well, can we do her next?
Long. Sure, let's do her next.
And then she'll rip out all of your intestines and then she'll fill you back up full of garbage.
Germans are the first recyclers.
I know, that was a good joke.
Thank you, Flulaborg. You are hilarious.
That was a good one. I laughed really hard when I saw that bit.
He is such a funny comedian. I really enjoy Flulaborg.
But, or do like a Mary Lloyd. I think it'd be fun to go around, like at like a mall or something and try to do like an epic rap battle, see if anybody would be game with us. Or go to like a karaoke place.
Oh god, karaoke as the Mary Lloyd would be amazing.
And see, like, because there's this one karaoke bar that does like Japanese style karaoke. But they've got an open bar where it's open karaoke to all, and it'd be funny to do the Mary Lloyd at like a karaoke bar and see if anybody would try to like do an epic rap battle with you. You know,
totally.
It would be. I think it would be a lot of fun, because it's just very silly. It's very, very silly. Like, and if you win the round, you have to buy the Mary Lloyd shots. Shots. I'm not sure what the Mary Lloyd would have shots. I think it'd probably have to be something seasonal with like Fireball. We did create a pretty awesome, I like to call it the chaos cocktail.
Yes, you do.
I work a lot with Loki, and I should say Loki works with me. That's kind of how it is. And every time Loki has done me a solid in my life, I'm like, oh man, I see you, girl. I see you, Auntie Kiki. Thank you, girl. I just imagine her as like the wine auntie with the nails. Yeah. And like the tarot cards, the bottle of Moscato, like, and the big bouffants, like that's my favorite version of Loki. and every time she does me a solid, I'm like, all right, girl, all right, Auntie Kiki, I see you, and I'll buy her some Fireball. And one time I made her a chaos cocktail, and I just get whatever is available at the corner store in true chaotic style. One time we got the Oreo Coca-Cola with Fireball. Yes. Which was actually pretty delightful. It was pretty delightful. But we also got some cranberry-flavored ginger ale, or...
Cranger ale, as I like to call it.
Cranger ale.
It is an absolute delight.
Cranger ale is fucking amazing.
It's fun to say, too.
So much fun, Cranger ale. Cranberry-flavored ginger ale. Who would have fucking thought? With a little bit of Fireball.
It's a good mixer, quite frankly.
That's a really great, like, seasonal holiday drink. You know? Enjoy that. And then maybe have some hot cocoa later. I know a lot of people like to do their boozy hot cocoa with some Baileys. We forgot to get Baileys.
Oh crap, we didn't get Baileys. Oh, that's funny.
I know. Well, we do have some more Fireball in the Chaos candy cane, which was just a candy cane that had a bunch of little tiny bottles of Fireball. And I'm like, for Auntie Kiki? And Ken's like, okay. And it was like, it's this giant thing. And this other guy was walking past, he's like, nice. And I'm like, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. He was down with what we were doing.
Coral says, so you view Loki as if you took yourself and cranked it up to 11? I guess I do have those nails.
How dare you say something so true?
I guess I do have those nails. I've been really enjoying my press-on nails. That's been a new thing this year. Okay, as another auntie, okay? He can be another auntie with me. You have two aunties from Practical Magic, and so it's both of us together. Both. Yeah. I see Loki in lots of different ways. Loki, again, very genderqueer, all the genders, whatever the fuck he wants to be, whatever the fuck they want to be, any moment, anytime, fucking chaos. I love him so much. He is that auntie that I love so much. My office, because when I first got that, it was so random crazy how I got my office, and I blame Loki for it. And then, like, the same week I got moved into my office, my 5-year plan turned into a 5-day plan, and I was up and running within 5 days. That my friend just dropped off this taxidermy gator head.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Then Ken ordered some Loki, like Marvel Loki horns that fucking fit this thing perfect.
Yeah.
So I have a taxidermy gator Loki
Not what I wanted.
in my office, and a friend of mine gave me a stuffed gator Loki. Now it's become a thing. So that version of the auntie with the bouffant and also gator Loki. Those are my 2 favorite versions of Loki. I don't know. Do y'all have a favorite version of Loki, chat? Do you have a favorite version of Loki, Kenji?
Yeah, Gator Loki.
You like the gator Loki?
I do.
Yeah.
Gator Loki's fun.
I think Marvel Loki, you know, the actor, what's his name?
Tom Hiddleston. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
Oh my goodness, what's that?
I hit Control O instead of Shift O for my outline, and I donked it up. Is what I did. I'm gonna remove the bottom. So okay, another pixel talk thing
yeah.
because I mean that's why you're all here is for the pixel art.
No.
Thank you so much
Lord of the
for
Rings.
co-hosting with me because
Yes.
talking and arting at the same time is very difficult, quite frankly. One thing that I like to do to kind of set my art apart is where the sprite meets the floor, essentially. I don't like having an outline because that makes it feel like it connects to the floor just that much better. So anywhere that's going to have, like, the art is, like, separated, like, I like to have the outline for it. Like, I kind of did a bit of the outline around the jaw of the Mary Lloyd here, just to kind of help separate the skull from kind of the rest of it. Just to help kind of make it pop and have that 3D feel. It kind of gives it a bit of a an Art Nouveau vibe to it as well. In a sense, if you were going to do pixel art and Art Nouveau, which I would love to. God, I would love to do that.
That would be
pixel
so
art
rad.
Nouveau. Oh, that would be cool as heck.
Fuck yes.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, it does definitely give it like that 3D element for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have candles in his wreath? I thought that
I
was a
think
Santa Lucia
so.
thing.
I mean, we can Google it right now. Let's find out.
Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia.
You know, before I Google that, let's
I was always dressed up as Santa Lucia at my church.
That's
It's
because
the
you're
blonde.
blonde.
It's the blonde hair. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All Loki is wild and wonderful. Absolutely, Rachel. Absolutely. And yes, that is what happened to your fireball candy. He likes to gobble it up. It's his favorite. It's that spice. It's that spicy spice. I like that you gave him a microphone.
Oh yeah. Gonna have that epic rap battle.
Fuck yes.
Fuck yes.
Yo, I'll tell you what I want. What I really, really want.
I'll tell you what I want.
I really, really, really want to let me in. That would be my Mary Lloyd rap. That's how my opening line would be.
Oh, this is such a good Mary Lloyd. I love it.
Okay. Are we doing Frau Hulda next?
You can. Or Frau Persta.
Frau Persta. Frau Hulda is the nice one. She's the grandma who teaches you about the birds and bees and makes you do some house labor in order to gain that knowledge.
She's a wise woman of the woods.
True story that happened to my Oma when she became of age. She actually had to go out and talk to a woman in the cottage out in the woods. Legit, the village witch. And she taught her the birds and the bees because those proper Catholic women could not talk about menstruation or any of that shit.
I don't need to have the shadow underneath it.
Yeah.
Okay. These.
What was I going to say now?
Frau Persta or
Lord of the Rings!
Lord of the Rings. Okay.
No, I wasn't going to say, but I mean, we can. We can.
You can.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's stopping us.
I know. I do have a soft spot for the Tolkien elves. I mean, they're so pretty. They're so pretty and wise.
That's so good.
Oh.
Let's see, how does that compare to Santa Claus? Oh, that's huge! Oh my God, that's
a
huge.
big one. That's a big
boy. Whoopsie!
They're supposed to be though. They're tall.
That's true. They do have the skull
because it's on a stick. Yeah, they're huge.
Typically, the Mary Lloyd isn't done by one performer.
Yeah, it's a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Under that sheet.
Yeah.
Okay, so Frau Persta.
Frau Persta.
She's the creepy one. She's the bad one. She's a.
can look up something. That's what I was going to do.
The Mary Lloyd had...
oh, right.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Who cares?
The candles and the wreath and the hair just make me think of Santa Lucia.
That's fair.
Which I actually didn't know this. It's a Spanish thing, actually.
Yeah.
You think it's like Swedish and Norwegian.
Mm-hmm.
But like then you say it out loud, Santa Lucia. I'm like, oh no, that totally makes sense. It's Spanish.
Yeah.
But it's really been absconded by a lot of Scandinavians, and it's become this big Scandinavian tradition. And a lot of people say, kind of like how Saint Bridget's is Bree, the goddess Bridget's of Celtic mythology. That a lot of Norwegians took the Santa Lucia idea and like as an aspect of Freya, goddess of love, beauty, magic, war, death, queen of the Valkyries, cat's lover, duel of death, duel of life, ultimate badass bitch. She my main girl. Yeah, that's kind of like a modern day honoring of Freya with the Santa Lucia. They're like, we won't say that the other part out loud. We'll just use this like religious idea, but we all know what it is, really truly. I was reading some articles about that this year. I think it's really fascinating. But yeah, there was like 2 times in my church that I was dressed up like as a Santa Lucia, and the white dress, and like they put like fucking real candles in my hair. yeah, and they actually lit them. Oh, yeah, I was like on fire, but it was a very weird experience. Like it was really pretty. It was really beautiful hearing them all sing the song as I'm walking down like the center aisle, while there's fucking fire in my hair.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
It was really cool. I remember like the first time I actually cried because it felt really, really special. Am
I going too humanoid? Because I know like some instances of Frau Persta is like just very tall, like antlered woman.
I mean, that's hot too.
Should I go like crone or like antlered, like a giant woman?
Giant woman, yeah. I like the old. I see her as more of like the old woman, like the crone, like the big nose. That's my favorite version of Frau Hulda.
All right, we're gonna keep it.
She also has Prättchen.
She do.
And those are like what you call like elves or like little fairies, and they are horrifying little creatures. If you want something that'll keep you up at night, Google Prättchen. And
they did bring the Prättchen into the Krampus movie.
Yeah, but those are not like how they actually are.
No,
but
not.
I do appreciate that they added that.
Yeah.
I did really like the Krampus movie. It was very cute. Yeah. They all deserve to die.
Yeah, that family sucked.
Yeah, it did suck.
Like most families.
Yeah.
There are some cool families out there. I'm not going to make that definitive of a statement.
But seeing like him calling his Oma Omi, I'm like, oh, that's what I did. Oh, it made my heart very happy. But the Prättchen. If you Google those, the Prättchen masks are fucked up. They're very terrifying, very scary little guys.
Little guys.
Just very scary little guys.
They're just little guys who want to help her recycle.
Stab you and cut you open and rip out your entrails. Maybe read them for divination purposes later, you know. It's funny, I was actually talking to another psychic, and we were talking, because I'm working on this other kind of form of divination, like divination through collage making, which has been really fucking cool and really fun.
Art therapy vibes too, and I freaking love it.
I really am enjoying doing collage making as a form of divination, and art therapy too, but I was talking about it with a friend of mine, and I'm like, there's gotta be a name for it. Hey, Sierra, welcome!
Hey, welcome!
I'm like, there's gotta be a name for this type of divination. I can't be the first one to think of this. There's no fucking way. And so my friend Sparkle, she put in her, like, she asked her phone, like, what's the name for divination via collage making? And I don't think her phone understood what she was saying, and pulled up like the form of divination through entrail reading.
Oh yeah, that's a thing for sure.
And I was like, it gets talked about a lot in like old like folklore and mythology. And as a professional reader, like both of us are professional readers, like how the fuck would you even read that? Like, are you looking at the knobs? Are you looking at how long it is? Are you looking at what's inside of it? Are you squeezing it out to see what's gunk is inside of it? I mean, what the fuck are you what are you actually reading when you're reading entrails? I just have a curiosity. Like my neurodivergent ass is just like, no, actually just tell me what it is. And then I'm like, well, you know, maybe it's just because I mean I've seen lots of entrails. I mostly see them as hot dogs and sausages.
I mean, yeah.
So we deduced that modern day entrail reading would be reading hot dogs.
Hot dog mancy?
Yeah, and
that's awesome.
You know, you can look at all the grease in the hot dog water.
Yes.
And like read the hot dog water.
That's brilliant.
Where there's little bubbles and things in the hot dog water, like, ooh, yes, there'll be famine this year, you know. I think that could be our modern day entrail reading is hot dog reading, you know.
I'm here for it. Let's boil us some hot doggers.
Yeah, get that hot dog water.
Get girl boss dinner going. I'm down. Hell yeah.
So then read those noodles, the macaroni noodles later in the hot dog water.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah, but seriously, like, how did they read it? Like, was it because the way they fell out? Is that how they read it with the blood? Like, I have a morbid curiosity, and maybe I should do a little bit more research. Maybe something. Yeah, hot dog mancing, Sierra, absolutely. I think the hot dog is the modern day version of it.
I love the idea.
Maybe slice them open and then see, you know.
How they pop, how they fizzle.
Yeah.
You know, like the speed at which they pop. Like that could tell you a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the grease, there's grease stains. Maybe put a piece of paper down and see if the grease stain spells anything. Like 6 days.
7 days. Oh, really quick, since we're talking about it, the ring. I was so happy with how my ring piece turned out for like spooky season. Like I did a whole series of like spooky art movies, just scenes from spooky movies in isometric style. Which again, check out Kenjamin Art on all the major social media platforms except for X or Twitter. Nobody calls it X. That's stupid. I'm not on there because that's a dumb platform, and it's being destroyed. But yeah, check out those old previous posts. They're good. It's good art. But yeah, no. Anyway, thank you for
nice plug.
Yeah. The self promotion on my channel. I'm sure that's not going to get old. Is hearing me promote myself on my own channel.
Well, it gave me enough time to get some more wine.
There
so,
you go. Got to have that if we're going to be talking about different customs and things. If you're going to talk anti-kiki.
Okay. This hat is giving me gummy bears.
I know exactly which one. The one with the reddish, kind of rusty fur. Yeah.
It had that same green hat.
Yep. He absolutely did.
Does she also have gummy berry juice?
She might. We could make that canon.
Bouncy and something.
Oh, we are those millennials.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da of gummy berry juice.
I love back when SNL was good, they had a bit about like Gummy Bears the movie and like Celine Dion singing the theme song for it. It was
nice.
Really good.
Gummy bears. I used to know it in German, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I learned a lot of Disney songs in Japanese, actually, because they were easy to learn. My favorite one, and I still remember it, was Akuna Matata.
Akuna Matata.
Akuna Matata. Nande hibiki nanta.
Oh, wow.
Akuna Matata. Ai no message. Nayamazu ni ikiru koto sa. Ore tachi no kono jishiki. Akuna Matata.
That translates to I'm a fucking nerd and I love
it. Yeah, I learned. I also learned. I sang it actually with my friend. A Whole New World, and I sang Aladdin's part, so my friend could be princess. I let her be that princess because I love supporting my fellow girls. Like raise them girls up, let her be that princess.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Did you learn any of the songs at Nightmare Before Christmas in a different language? Or are you just saying that you just really like Nightmare Before Christmas? Oh, thank you. Yes. It was a fun one. It was just really easy to learn. I learned a lot of like little silly kid songs in Japanese. When I was in high school, I actually went to Japanese camp. It was a whole weekend where we were not allowed to speak English. And there were a whole bunch of different students in different levels, and you had different classes you can go to. It's where I learned how to do traditional Japanese tea ceremony.
That's awesome.
And I wanted to do the sumi painting. There were so many opportunities I had to do sumi painting, but it always got filled up. So I actually spent a good chunk of this summer actually teaching myself a lot of sumi painting, and it was really fun.
You did a lot of cool pieces with that too.
Yeah, I'm looking at a couple of them right now. I had this really cool experience on the other solstice. Happy solstice again, everybody.
Yeah.
Bitch and Yule.
Bitch and Yule.
And I was on the summer solstice this year. I was mad because I had to spend my solstice at fucking yoga teacher training around these dumb Christian women who... It was really just kind of soul-sucking. I'm like, this fucking sucks. I'd rather just be anywhere else other than the stupid teacher training. And, but so I took a moment to go to the beach, one of my favorite beaches, and I shit you not. It was one, oh, we've got Wilfredo Knives. Wilfredo. Hey,
Hello.
So glad to have you guys back. Welcome. Thank you, chat.
Thank you.
Glad to have you all back.
Yeah.
This has been wonderful. Having everybody be here in the chat, listen to us, nerd out about shit. But yeah, it was this wonderful, wonderful experience. It was the most people I've ever seen there, but the tide was out so far that everyone got a little piece of beach to themselves. It did not feel like there was that many people, but the parking lot was crammed packed. I could not believe it. And I had my little lunch, and everything in my soul was like, get your little Pisces feet in the water. I'm like, all right. My moon's in Pisces.
Oh, okay.
My moon's in Pisces.
Well, you're a Taurus.
I
You're
know.
not a Pisces.
I'm a sun Taurus, Aries rising.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so I was just going around walking in the water, and then I saw one heron. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And I was kind of walking up, like they were kind of fishing in the shallow water. And then a third one showed up, and I was like surrounded by these fucking giant blue heron, which are native to our area in the world. And it was so close I could touch one of them. I was that fucking close. And they did not give a shit about me. They were just like, oh, blah, 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 fishing, enjoying the beach, having a wonderful day. And then this giant hawk flew over my head, dive bombed, caught a fish, and flew away. And I'm like, I feel so fucking magical and witchy right now. Thank you, universe. I just needed this gift. And so I did a lot of trying to recreate those herons in sumi painting. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. So, Hayao Miyazaki, is that you with the herons? It was really funny. That movie came out, and
around the same time.
No, I mean that was in the fall.
Was it?
What? No, I can't remember now. Because we totally got lost in the Feywilds when we went to go see that movie.
You're right, we did.
I shit you not. So again, pointy-eared elf person here, do a lot of Fey shit, and then we got lost in the fairy. And I'm like, don't worry, Ken, I'll get us back out. Don't worry, I'll get King. We drove a different route to this theater that we don't normally go to, but when we were there, we were like, this theater feels like a different theater.
Yeah.
And we're like, are we sure we're not actually in Issaquah? Like, no, we're in Puyallup.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, there's no way. It was a very weird, surreal, because the theater looked exactly the same.
Yeah.
We drove through all of this mist, and then we watched this movie about so much fairy shit. I'm like, no, Ken, we just went into fairy and watched the most fairiest movies about fucking herons, and I got like a hair stick this year that looks like a heron unintentionally. Yeah, it's been a very magical, very cool year. Yeah. I blame that for why we weren't streaming. Now she looked like a little mushroom, like with a little, it almost looked like a little shawl.
I mean, kind of like I've got a plan for
it's
it.
Cute. I love her. I love her so much. But yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Of course.
Hey, PERR represent.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah. I think do we follow each other on Instagram? I think so. AKA El Rey Conejo. I'm actually really bad at pronouncing names.
Okay.
I'm really bad. I think we follow each other on Instagram, but I'm really bad with names. But you're like Lycon. I'm like, wait, this looks familiar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a bunch of P&W nerds up in here.
I have a funny story about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm full of funny stories.
All right, you're absolutely full of the fun stories.
Yeah, and I have a whole year to catch up on funny stories. Fuck yes, and I have more funny stories. Prepare yourselves.
You better. Better.
It was like it was over a decade ago. Me and my bestie were in Paris. And I haven't done a lot of traveling because I'm a poor millennial, but her parents basically paid for me to go to Paris and for my stay. So all I had to pay was for just to eat and exist in Paris. And so I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to go to fucking Paris. It cost me the two most expensive things, the plane ticket and the hotel stay. If that's covered, fuck yeah, I'm going to go to Paris. And so we were there for 2 weeks. But we were we had gone to Versailles, which is outside of Paris, the downtown area. It's kind of out in the countryside, just a little bit. So you have to take a train to get to Versailles, the Golden Palace and all the glitz and glam, let them eat cake, all that shit. And so we were on the train coming back to Paris. And my bestie had, because I would like to go to the Squim Lavender Festival. She and I had gone plenty of times in the past. And so she just had that on her button on her bag. She just didn't take it off because it was just part of her accoutrements, her flair, if you will.
Pieces of flair, yes. Very important, those pieces of flair.
And, rhymes with Schmabbit King.
Oh, right.
We all follow each other. Yay! Thank you, Schmabbit King.
Forgot that were you using a different YouTube username? Because I thought you had it as Rabbit King before too. So, but hey, thanks for showing up again, bud. I'm really glad to see you.
Yeah, so glad to have you. Thank you. And thank you for the context. We've been out of the loop for a while. But, so yeah, so my bestie had this pin that said Squim Lavender Festival, and this person stops and looks, and then they start talking to us in English, and we're like, whoa, first of all, someone's suddenly speaking English, which isn't like super uncommon, but most people generally don't default to English, even though it's a very big international city. Their language is French, and everybody starts speaking French to you first. So he started talking to us in English. He's like, oh my god, the Squim Lavender Festival? We're like, okay, hold the phone. The fact that, one, you speak English, and two, you know how to pronounce Squim? Where in the Pacific Northwest do you live?
Seriously?
Yeah, they lived in Tacoma.
Oh, wild.
Yeah, it was such a small fucking world. We're like, holy fucking shit. But yeah, it was kind of a funny, like, Puyallup, Squim. Like, I've heard that about Colorado, too, that they have a lot of, like, indigenous names for places. And unless you live there, you don't actually, you know if you lived in that area, if you know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Those indigenous names, which is fucking cool. They said, I'm so excited to have these start up again. Yes, I have been an art account, but I just needed to get in here tonight.
I've got multiple YouTube accounts too, so no worries at all. I had a feeling. I was just nervous to ask because I didn't want to assume like if I was wrong. But yeah, no, thanks for showing up, bud. I really appreciate it.
There have been times where it's been a little awkward, or like it's a bot, or like we had this kid on our stream once. It was like, you can't swear, I'm a child. I'm like,
oh, honey, you're in the wrong place.
Like, no, honey. Then why are you in the dark corners of the internet?
Yeah. Like this is on you, kiddo.
This isn't this. No, we're not like Goatsy or Two Cups or anything.
Oh, why? Why are you inciting them then? Like, ugh.
Because if you know, you know.
Right. I mean, you're right.
And if you know, then you're probably okay and safe to be here.
That's
but if you
fair.
don't, you might not be. But I shouldn't say it like that, because I'm sure over enough time has passed, people will not know those references. So I shouldn't say it like that. But
I don't know. I feel like you're playing with fire. But...
My head was on fire once before as I was talking about Santa Lucia.
There you go.
Santa Lucia. That's all I know. And of that song is that. Yeah. Parents not watching their kiddos. Yes, Rachel.
Pretty much.
You know, I'm gonna.
You're gonna tell that Ren Fair story. Yeah?
Oh well, no.
Excuse me.
So I used to perform at the Ren Fair a long time ago. I just did it for a few years. It was fun. I met a lot of really cool people, and I met a lot of really terrible people. But you know, for all the cool people, it was worth it. It was for sure. But we had an ongoing rule that if your kids get the joke, it's your fault, not ours.
Seriously.
Like it was a unspoken rule that if you make suggestive jokes, it has to be able to go over kids' heads. You know, like it had to be a subtle adult joke. And because if your kids get it, then it's your fault, not ours. But if it's too suggestive, then it's your fault, and you'll probably get a talking to if you get caught, which a lot of them did not get caught. But we got Coral saying, Boise, Idaho is a city where absolutely no one knows how to pronounce it correctly unless you're native. Boise? How do you say Boise?
I knew someone who would say Boise, like overpronounce it, which was kind of weird to me. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why are you not saying Boise?
Now I'm like, my whole entire chorus shook. Like, am I mispronouncing it?
I have such mixed feelings just because I know like things like Idaho isn't actually a real like indigenous word. It's not a First Nation word.
Yeah. Idaho.
You did it. You found the way.
Yay!
But yeah, because like whatever senator in like whatever hundreds, like 150 odd years ago, tried to be like, oh, it's a First Nation word. That's not the word he used. But it's a First Nation word that means like treasure or something, and that's why you've got like Treasure Valley. So I'm just so curious, like, how are people messing up the word for Boise?
Coral said it's Boise, not Boise.
Oh,
I was mispronouncing it.
So the person that I was just giving shade to is actually saying it correctly, and I'm the jagoff who is saying it wrong. Cool.
I'm with Rabbit King and petition to call it Bussy.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna tell a story.
You have your segue now.
Believe you me.
You were gonna work it in regardless, but now you've got it naturally worked in.
This is a gift. This isn't a curse. This is a gift. You have to see that if we use the ring, we can defeat Sauron with it.
Oh no!
It's a gift.
Oh my gosh! I'm so sorry, everybody.
Okay, story time with Stephanie. This actually just happened a little bit ago.
Oh my god!
So for previous returning people who have seen our previous streams, we've had this ongoing joke about Bussy, and why Stephanie hates it is because the thing that I was like, because. Someone was trying to teach me what Bussy was, and a boy pussy. And I'm like, okay, but here's the problem, is the way you pronounce it, Bussy, then it would be pussy and not pussy.
Yeah.
Like, like how it's actually pronounced. Yeah. And calling it a pussy is gross.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Wholeheartedly,
it sounds like
we'll
pus.
Sign off on that
like,
is gross.
Gross body horror shit, you know. But recently, I had a couple of clients, and no, I don't even remember their names to even be able to. But
so there's no HIPAA violation going on.
Yes.
That's what we're saying.
Because these two people work in the medical field, and one of them, like, I made some sort of, like, bussy joke or something. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, I was like, bussy or clussy bussy clown farter 69 on TikTok doesn't know jack shit about magic, and they don't have a fucking degree. Don't listen to stupid bullshit on Witch Talk, is how it came up.
Yeah.
And this person was telling me, like, okay, actually, here's a funny story. So, the client was talking about their own reproductive health and referred to their vagina as a pussy.
But you're even if they had pronounced it correctly, you're still talking about an anatomical part of the body. Why would you talk to a medical professional, even calling it a pussy? Why would you call it that to a medical professional?
Okay.
It just gets me ramped up too, quite frankly.
I will say that, in some people, like, that's just the word they use. That's the word they don't necessarily like using. The textbook, that's not and that would not feel normal to them, or it might just be too clinical or too whitewashed or that kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't want to speak on for other people, of course, but I could understand why someone might use that. But the funniest part was that the medical professional didn't bat an eye and put it into her records.
Okay.
And her boss had to come to her and say, so I need you to go back into her file and correct the spelling of this word. And she was admittedly very embarrassed, and they all had a really good laugh about it. She's like, oh, whoopsie, sorry. But yes, not only did the client, the patient use the word pussy, but she wrote it as pussy in their fucking and I called it. I said, this is the problem. Then you're going to get people calling it a pussy, and it's nasty.
You called it.
I did.
You were right, and I hate that you were.
It's my prophecy. I'm a professional mind reader to my own detriments.
Oh, God. I hate it.
Oh, man, I'm glad we get to come back with all these great stories.
Yay.
It's been so long since we've been able to talk.
I'm actually really thrilled to be back doing this.
Okay, but is she gonna have banshee boobies?
Just you want them like just dragging on the floor?
Not out, but like, you know how like in Miyazaki, like a lot of the older ladies, they have their like almost tucked into their belts.
Oh my God!
Their boobies like hanging down so low.
I haven't quite gotten there yet, but I can. Yeah, can you tie them in a knot?
You can tie them in a bow.
Yeah.
You know, the older I get, when I think I will, when I finally reach a point of bansheeism with my own boobies, I think I will finally have peaked and reached my crondom, and then I can truly stop giving a fuck about what anybody says about me. Like, no, I've got my banshee, or what was it? Not banshee. What was the other word? It starts with P.
Pussy? I know.
Not an H.
An H? What?
Or no. Okay, wait. Last unicorn.
Wait, what? I am so lost right now.
Okay.
You've been all over the board.
I know. My ADHD is going really
Where
fast.
Where are we going?
My ADHD is going real fast. I'm sorry. Okay.
Brain go brrr.
In the last unicorn.
Yes.
It wasn't a banshee. I called her something else. But it's the other one who's in Mommy Fortuna's wandering circus. Not the manticore. Maybe it is a harpy.
Oh,
it's a harpy! Yes. I just fucking said it! Ah! Not a banshee, a harpy. Oh my God. Wow. Brain go brr.
Oh my God,
harpy boobies.
Harpy boobies. Oh my god, that was fantastic.
Yeah, because they're really hanging low.
Yeah.
Not harp like
Yeah.
the banshees. It depends. It depends on the culture. It depends on the theme.
Well, I wanted to have her holding like the hay in the other hand, so it's kind of hiding, obfuscating.
Yeah, if she's got harpy or banshee. I was thinking harpy boobies. No, not hag, but kind of a hag. Yeah, harpy boobies. If you've seen The Last Unicorn, you'll know what I mean by harpy boobies. And it's not the tree who love, who also had pretty big boobies.
All right, you know what? That's a pretty good, reasonable size for the Frau Perste.
Oh my god, do you really log it as a vajayjay, or do you say vagina?
What?
Please, I have to know. Do you actually use the word vajayjay, or do you use vagina? Like, I gotta know. But yeah. Oh my god, harpy. It's just like H, the letter H.
That's
She's
such a
cute.
good Frau Perste.
She's cute. She do look like a little mushroom though. Like I love that.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
That is a good thing, and I love her gummy berry hat. Who's the next one? I like her little scowl.
Yeah, who's the next one that we want to do? Okay.
My Oma could do that. My Oma could do that costume. Maybe one day I can.
I've got a little list made. Do we want to do a cute little old lady for the next one?
Sure.
Let's do La Befana.
Oh, she's cute. That's like a Kiki.
Yeah.
When you scale out, it is so hard to see on my phone.
Well, that's part of the charm of pixel art is you got to take a look at it from a distance too.
I know, but it's real small.
Kind of, yeah. Okay.
2 hours in stream and still no front butts.
Oh no. I deserve that. I should have seen it coming. Shark and I will give Mickey Pixels so much grief about just
Front butts.
add this stuff. Yeah, front butt. I really got it going on just a front butt chant for one of the characters he was making because he's been doing a lot of Fakeamon. And we will razz him and be like front butt, give it a front butt. It's
a good mouthfeel, front butt.
Right?
It's a good mouthfeel.
It is.
Yeah,
It is a very good mouthfeel.
Okay, I'm glad that you're joking. Whew, about the vajayjay.
I think
because this girl, she legit put pussy, and her boss was like, so about this patient's report. Oh, it was really funny. We all had a really good laugh about it, and but that's the problem with bussy. All you Gen Zers joking around your bussy's not realizing how much damage you're causing. I'm totally joking. It's very silly. The Clussy is what broke me.
Oh God, Clussy.
When Chance introduced me to the clown pussy of Clussy, and I'm just like, I think we've finally reached that corner, the line.
Yeah, we hit critical mass.
And I can't go. Please don't go where I can't follow. I'm just gonna be like Atreyu's horse, and I'm just gonna stop and sink. Nope, just done. Let me just sink here, Atreyu. I'm gone.
This doesn't feel very ISO to me, so I think instead of doing La Befana and a little broom, I'm gonna draw her just standing like the others.
Coral, oh my gosh. Thank you for the sign that the world is healing, Coral. Coral says, I don't think I've said bussy or any variant in a year. The world's healing.
Thank you. You're giving me so much faith for Gen Z right now. Thank you, Coral. I appreciate you so much.
Okay. We love to joke, but I think everyone should have their own slang. And I think it should be funny and people should have fun with it. And I think that's something I do really like about Gen Z slang. We did do a whole stream about Gen Z slang. And as much as we joked around about It's Giving being like a Thanksgiving for clowns, I think that Gen Z's approach, just being very silly about their slang and not trying to be too serious, like, it's so skibbity.
That's Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha, I'm sorry. No.
And that's a dumb name. Why Gen Alpha?
Gen Alpha, but also, like, skibbity. No. You guys are, all y'all are gonna look back years later and realize, you could feel that cringe pretty damn hard. So, as just, word of advice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like,
we like, as a millennial, thankfully, we, a lot of our cringe happened well before the internet, like, and MySpace going down was, like, a real boon to us. But yeah, like we did it too, admittedly.
Yeah. Sierra, I'm sorry. We're not trying to talk shit about Gen Z. We're not. It's again, I think what I love about Gen Z slang is that it's all very silly, like girly pop. Mm-hmm. I think because we're going to turn 40 next year.
It's absolutely just content.
Well, it's fun to try to use it all in, like, a sentence, and they're like, no, you can't do that. And it just makes me feel like that, like, crankety old lady, and it's just very silly.
Like, I've been trying to really just own that curmudgeon life.
Yeah. Where exactly is the Clussy? I believe that is up to your imagination.
Yeah.
I think it's the red nose.
Oh, no. Why?
But I can't speak for that. I'm not Gen Z. I don't know what a Clussy is. I don't know. I just know it's a clown pussy. That's all I know.
Jesus.
Where it is, I think that's up to you and your imagination.
Yeah, talk to Bill Skarsgård. He'll tell you more.
And with consenting clowns. Only with consenting clowns. I think that's the most important part, as long as everybody is consenting.
Yeah, that is important. Just consenting adults.
Yes, consenting adult clowns, adult clowns, and of the age to be able to consent. Mm-hmm. I think all those things are important. I imagine it sounds like an old bike horn. Coral adds Gen Alpha because we ran out of English letters, so we had to change alphabets.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's a fair assessment. That's I think that's
fair.
Yeah.
It's just like because I remember in high school, like, they tried panning us off as like, oh, you're Gen Y because you ask so many questions. I'm like, no, you're calling us that because our older siblings were called Gen X. So that's just lazy. And then we got changed to millennial, which is boomer talk for get off my lawn, you darn kids.
I love the fact that millennials have single-handedly destroyed more industries, one single piece of avocado toast at a time.
Take that, Tom Shane.
I'm proud of my generation. We've experienced a lot, and we still got a meme for everything.
We do.
Memes next year are gonna be lit.
Oh, seriously.
Yeah, right in the rubber chicken. Okay.
I do love rubber chicken content. I'm going to be totally honest about that.
I don't know how to say this word correctly. Gyat.
Gyat.
That's how you say it.
Gyat.
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 What does gyat mean?
Oh God, I'm spacing on it. I had learned at one point. It's like gyat damn kind of thing.
Oh, is this supposed to be like a god?
Yeah. Like,
Gyats. Our Lord in heaven, Gyats. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom camp. Thy will be camp.
I can't pencil with that. Oh, I'm laughing too hard. Oh my God, that got me harder than I was expecting. Oh, that's fantastic.
Our Lord and Savior Gyats.
Oh.
It's almost like a tua.
Oh God, we've been watching Dongle Rompers. That's what we like to call Danganronpa, is Dongle Rompers.
Yes.
Just because it's dumb and it deserves no reverence from us. But Atua, jeez.
Yeah, Gen Z is also known by a lot of different names.
Oh yeah.
They're the next generation. Pepsi Cola.
Gen X was the Pepsi generation. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it means fat ass.
What? Oh, right, because, like, that fat ass makes you say, yeah, damn.
Oh.
That's right. I forgot
but
that
I
detail.
kind of like it for God, you know, especially the Christian God, because bringing it back full circle from an hour ago talking about Mormonism and my complex Christian PTSD. Again, I have to have a sense of humor about these things and comedy and memes in order to survive these horrible things. Da booty is what it says. The junk in the trunk, if you will. Yeah. When that got a back, that donk a fatty boom batty. Da booty. That too.
Love it.
Two is going to jail. Yeah, you see something like eye, lip, eye emojis, and you say yacht. It's okay. Whenever I see the eye, lips, eyes, I see the candy cane monster from All Real Monsters.
Yeah, All Real Monsters. That is a litmus test for
Yeah.
like your age, because if you don't see the candy cane monster, oblique. Oblica, I believe was her name. Then you are too young.
No,
I'm totally teasing.
You just weren't watching All Real Monsters at the same time we were.
You
probably don't know what show we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, that was back when Nickelodeon was known for being like the ugly cartoons.
Yeah, like Rugrats and
Kubo Klowski, like that studio did a lot. Oh crap, wrong layer. But yeah. No, I mean, fuck yeah.
Okay, Shark, I agree with you. I love that I, too, can also put able to topple entire industries by merely existing on my resume. Fuck yes. Fuck yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes. Hell yes. One avocado toast at a time. Oh, man. Oh, man. I love it. I love it. You just didn't grow up in the best era. It's staring out into space or mortified. Gen Z speaks in emoji. We had the predecessors to the emojis.
We did a lot of ASCII art.
Yeah. Which it's coming back, which is fucking cool.
Oh, I love ASCII art. It's
I love
so
the little
cool.
V for like the peace sign, which is totally a millennial thing, and like the little the little smiley face. I did so many of those. It was really fun. I'm glad that those are coming back.
Heck yeah.
Oh, hi, baby bee. Meow, meow. Our
Sweet
little
baby kitty making her appearance.
Our little girl loves to play.
Yeah,
She more than any other cat I've ever had loves to play more than like she's constantly like, I want to play. I must play. And so we've just been making sure to play with her a lot lately, and she's just been so sweet on us. She fell asleep on my chest last night, and she has never done that before. And, oh, my heart is
she
so
usually
melting.
likes to lay on my chest.
I know. Yes, I am aware that the two, like the eyes and the lips are like staring out in space, are mortified. But
it's like deer in the headlights.
Yeah, but I always see.
Oh yeah.
The candy cane monster.
Monsters.
Yeah. But I mean, it's all. Oh yes, Coral. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Those cute little faces. They're cute. Oh man, I think it's cool too. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Lay it on me.
Before we get into Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Really get into Lord of the Rings this time.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
We'll eventually get there.
We
promise.
Before we really get into Lord of the Rings.
God, how long did we want to go? Because we've been doing this for about 2 hours. I'm still feeling
What?
good. I know, right?
Oh my god!
Right? Like, I have every intention, because like one of the cool Yule traditions is to do like a full night vigil. Like
that would have been last night.
That would have been last night. So obviously, but like I don't know. Maybe we wrap up with La Befana. I mean,
oh my god,
I am kind of making these sprites a little on the big side too. But anyway,
I was so used, even though it's been since April. I was like, oh, we can stream at 10, and not
that
realizing,
was our old schedule,
yeah.
Because we had started at 8.
I was like, oh, we've only been streaming for an hour. Oh no, it was 2 hours ago. Whoopsies. Yeah, I think that's a good call.
Okay.
Unless there's anything else pixely you want to do.
Like, I did want to do the El Caganer, which is a Catalonian tradition, which is absolutely hilarious to me. But we don't have to do El Caganer.
I mean, it'd people are having a good time. I mean, they can sign off whenever they want to.
It's true.
Hopefully I'm entertaining them. And eventually the promise of Lord of the Rings. But I mean, yeah, I'd say let's do that one because I know you really wanted to do that one.
I do want to do the Kaganer.
Yeah, I'm having a fun time. I think that we can go a little bit longer stream for our first one back after
longer and stronger as a thank you and an apology for being gone for so long.
Yeah. Yes, Rabbit King, you are correct. I'm not gonna say it out loud because I don't want to ruin the surprise, but everyone who's in chat just now had the surprise ruined.
If you
know
Spanish, then I've already spoiled it by saying the Kaganer.
Santa Lucia.
So okay. I know I'm doing La Befana, who is the Italian witch.
Yeah, we didn't talk about her at all. She's so cute.
She is. She's very cute.
Very sweet.
The thing for La Befana, part of her lore, is that she works kind of like a Santa Claus do, and that she will leave presents on the stoops of good children's homes. So if you're a good kid and the stoop to your home is covered in prezzies when you wake up, then La Befana came by.
And in a lot of homes, they'll actually put additional stoops inside the house. So they'll put special stairs where they'll really just make a cute little display of it with like stairs and for their shoes. Krampusnacht is actually kind of like that.
Oh,
so if you survive Krampusnacht, which is December the 5th, the next day is St. Nicholas's Day, and he would put things inside your boots the next morning if you survived Krampusnacht. I never even get a chance to talk about my stories about Krampus. I've told them before, so maybe if we have some time to talk about it, I can talk about it. But I was gonna say, just checking in with the chat real quick. Rabbit King saying, yes, I ruined it with my stupid Spanish speaking.
How dare you know how to speak Spanish?
I've had a lot of those things. So growing up bilingual is a very weird experience here in the United States because, I mean, in most other countries, they usually have, like, you speak, like, 1 or 2 languages.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 or 3 languages, I should say. Most people are bilingual. And I can't say that for everybody. There's definitely places where you just speak the one. What are you getting into, little girl? Oh my gosh. All right. Sorry.
We were getting distracted by our kitty.
She's very cute.
She is.
But, so there was plenty of things, like, in German, like, was always the worst because World War II era, like in a lot of movies that were really popularized in the U.S., people always love to ask, what are they saying, Stephanie? I'm like, gibberish.
It's not real German that they're speaking.
They're not really speaking German or they'll just say mach schnell, which just means hurry up, like go faster. That would be the maximum of what most English speakers would put into a lot of these movies that are
like
featuring.
9, like, oh good, you said no.
Yeah. So, but I had like other things. My favorite one was to ruin tattoos people would get in Japanese. I spent 8 years studying Japanese in high school and college, and I still go to my local Obon Borodori, which is a festival of dancing honoring the ancestors. We have a local Japanese Buddhist temple in our neck of the woods, and it's really fun. I go with 2 of my very best friends, and it's just been this lovely tradition that we've been doing since we were teens. Took a little break, but then we've come back into it. It's been just so much fun. So we do the Obon dances into the nights. I forgot to tell you this, Ken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, because I bought the yokai tarot deck. Because I fucking love Japanese folklore. We should do a stream of Japanese folklore. Oh my god, a yokai stream? Yes!
Okay. I have been wanting to do yokai art for like a minute now because we were talking about it when I was wrapping up my October project. because I love doing like just spooky stuff for October. I swear, October, March, and June are when my channel or social media is actually like I do anything. But we were talking about doing yokai next year for my October. Yes. And I'm like, but I really want to do October, like yokai now. Do I want to wait until October to do yokai, or do I just do it now? I'm like, maybe I do it now.
Ken, the answer from this bisexual is both.
Both. You can have
both
it all.
Both is good. Both is good.
Yeah.
Yes, both.
Both is good.
Yes. Because people in chat, too, are saying, like, Rabbit's saying, I need a cuppa.
Get to the coppa.
Oh my god, were you at Obon? Did you go to the one in Tacoma, at White River? Which one did you go to? That would have been really fucking crazy. That's such a small world.
Wait, which one?
Rabbit was saying that they danced for the first time this year.
Rabbit, okay. I know you said Puyallup represent, but like I thought you were in Cali, my dude. Because if you're in like the PNW, we need to get a beer, my man.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know.
Like, message me later.
Yeah. And I'm right there with you, Coral. I hate when people do that. They said, I will say, though, I just finished this anime and the English dub actually has genuine Chinese instead of fake Chinese. That's fucking awesome. That is cool. Oh, they are in the Bay, but they have family in Washington.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of Japanese Buddhist temples in California as well. If you ever find your way up here,
seriously, man. Yeah, hit me up.
Yeah. I want to head up, but I haven't been in like 12. Well, I mean, let us know. Let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad that you danced at Obon for the first time this year. I have been doing Obon dances since I was like 15 years old. And it's so wild because they played the music. I took a break and then I went back into it. And the moment the music started playing, I immediately remembered the dances. It was so much. I fucking cried. I was that big nerd. I was crying while I was doing my Obon dances. But there's actually a yokai. That's why I bring it up. And it happened this year. I don't know if you noticed that as we were dancing, there were a shit ton of herons, again, that flew over our heads
tell me about it, man.
So there's a yokai that specifically show up as herons and fly over your heads at Obon when it becomes dusk as a sign that the ancestors were there.
Oh, that's so
cool. And that fucking happened.
That's so
I noticed a lot of other people saw it and were like, oh my god. It's while we were doing the coal miners dance, which I did that dance for a very dear friend of mine. I don't know if she's still here with us or if she's passed on, but if it was, then I know it was her saying hello. She fucking loved the coal miners dance because that was from the area she grew up in that prefecture. Very further south, one of the most southern, most islands. That's where she grew up, and she came over as a war bride, but and she helped me get dressed in my very first kimono. I am too much of a German and I have too much of a hourglass shaped figure to be able to wear kimono properly. So it kept collapsing. My kimono the obi kept collapsing. And a friend of mine who does kabuki professionally, she is a white person, but she puts boards in her kimono so that way she can wear her obi correctly so it doesn't fall down or collapse in the waistline for us Westerners that have more of an hourglass shaped figure, because most of the time the obi just collapses and doesn't do its job what it's supposed to do, holding everything up. But yeah, she tried so hard to put the obi on me, but it kept collapsing, and she's like, oh my god. And so I think she did stuff some stuff in my obi to make sure it would stay put, so it looked a little bit bigger. It was really funny. But yeah, it was fucking wild, and I would love to talk about that yokai. The yokai tarot was like, okay, I gotta nerd out for a second on this.
Yeah, nerd out.
And then Lord of the Rings, I promise.
That is the promise of the stream.
The yokai tarot is really, really cool. Sometimes there's these types of themed tarot decks are just like, they'll just do the major arcana and do them poorly. But this one, it just came out, and I even bought the journal because the art is so beautiful.
Sorry for the flashing warning, everybody.
Flash warning! But each and every single card is a different yokai. I think there's a couple of them that have kappa. So if you're into tarot and you're interested in learning more about Japanese folklore, and especially about yokai, it's a really, really fucking cool deck. And I mostly got it just for that. Wrong layer?
No, that part was open, and like just because I used gray for the background and I'm using gray for her hair, I just didn't realize that. I thought I had already like put some shading in that spot, but no, it was open. Okay, go me.
Go you, Kenji. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Coral says, you should do Turbo Granny for the yokai stream. I'm obsessed with Dan.
Don, yeah.
There you go.
I've heard of that, but I have no idea what it's about.
It just came out, and people are obsessed with it. I'd love to check it out.
I hear that like good things about it. Like, I think the last anime we watched was Dungeon Meshi, which is absolutely charming. We totally fell in love with it.
In case you're still here, Rabbit, sorry, didn't see your comment that you're taking off. Thanks so much for joining us.
Heck yeah. Thanks for stopping by, bud.
And I'm not going to confirm that the Lord of the Rings cake is a lie.
Lord of the Rings cake? What?
Shark said the Lord of the Ring cake is a lie.
Cake?
Yeah. The cake is a lie.
Okay, yeah,
but like me promising Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to be talking like cake. I was thinking like Legolas's booty cake. Excuse me.
Gyat.
Wishful thinking.
Gyat booty, though.
Gyat booty.
Yeah, it's giving gyat. Did I do it right? Okay. Yeah, I've heard so many things about Dan. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I loved Dungeon Meshi. That was so cute.
So cute. I can't wait.
I mean, cute little elf girl. I love her. Yes. And I love her little gay ass.
Give us some cute lesbian elves. Like,
so cute.
It's not created for the male gaze either.
Thank you. Yes.
Like, that was really just tastefully done.
I had to pause an episode and I had to like just give them so much credit for that because I'm like, one thing I hate, like, especially the Harley Quinn and Ivy, people are like, but it's so cute. I'm like, no, it's for the male gaze.
Yeah, it is.
And there's a lot of, like, femme, lesbian relationships that are just created for the male gaze. Yeah. Of course, you'll never have, like, trans femme or gender fluid femme being represented in those femme type of more lesbian, bi relationships, pan relationships, because it's not for the male gaze. And they will add gay characters, but it's only two really hot cis women, and it fucking pisses me off. I am a cis woman, yes. I mean, I play around with fey pronouns, but it's because I'm a little fairy person. But, like, it really pisses me off that a lot of those, like, queer representations, very loose quotes, but I love that about Dungeon Meshi, that was not, they like, their relationship is really cute and really sweet, kind of like some Elphaba and Galinda energy there is really cute.
There was a command that I can't remember what it was now at this point that lets you, like, play around with the circle tool, but oh well.
Oh, Coral, if you would not mind messaging me or Ken later, letting us know what you mean about the uncomfortable moments about Dan. I do have triggers about essay.
Yeah.
I do not like watching like anything that has essay in it. That's my biggest trigger.
Yeah.
So, like, if you want to say it here, if you want to say it elsewhere, what some of those uncomfortable moments are, I would appreciate it. So many people try to get me to watch the Vikings show. Vikings season 1 and 2. I had a friend who told me the exact minutes of when the essay was so that I could skip past it and what minutes to go back to, but it didn't matter because it was still an integral part of the story.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
I don't. No, I don't. Like, even some Bollywood movies that have a lot of essay, a lot of them, I mean, of course, Bollywood's very conservative, at least at the time I was watching it. How it is now, I haven't watched a lot of Bollywood recently, so I can't speak for more recent movies. But, like, 10, 15 years ago when I was watching a lot more Bollywood, it was still very conservative, and they wouldn't show a lot of the essay. But it was very much heavily implied, and even that always made me feel uncomfortable. I was a little bit more okay with it, but I really dislike when shows really try to normalize essay by bringing it into shows, and I don't think it should be. But if as long as it's not that, I would be curious to know what you mean by uncomfortable moments. If you have the time or the energy or the desire to do so. If you don't, that's no worries. I can also Google it myself. But thank you for that warning. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for the content.
Yeah, yes. Coral also adds that they love Dungeon Meshi and can't wait for season 2. Me too. Okay, who's your favorite character, Ken? And chat, who's your favorite character from Dungeon Meshi?
It's my boy Senshi.
Oh yeah, I had a feeling. I mean, it's my girl, my elfie girl. Love her.
I adore Senshi.
Oh man, just this. He's so adorable.
He's
so
very
adorable. Ugh. I mean, is there anybody who really likes the samurai?
Oh gosh.
I mean, he's I forget his name.
It's like Toshiro.
I mean, he was cute. I don't dislike him, but like, God, there's so many good characters. There's so many good characters.
Great characters in that.
Who's a character you say you dislike from Dungeon Meshi? Ooh, the real questions. We're gonna draw the real lines here tonight.
When we stop being polite and start being real.
Heyo.
Was there?
I know, Coral, me too. Marcel and Fallon are so cute. I know, it makes my little gay heart so fucking happy. I'm like, oh, just smooch. Now kiss. They're so cute.
Yeah, but in like a really sweet, like meet cute way.
I know. Makes my little queer butt just like, oh, so cute. Okay, thank you for doing getting back to me. And again, if you decide that you don't want to, that's totally fine. I appreciate the content warning.
Yeah.
At least just a heads up that it can have some uncomfortable moments.
I think to answer your question.
Yeah. Same thing with you, chat.
If I were...
Favorite
shit,
and least favorites.
You know what?
For our chat, too, of Dungeon Meshi. My least favorite character, I can't remember his name because I'm terrible with names, but he's like the leader of the other group. He's got black hair, and they always keep dying, and they keep resuscitating them.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's really manipulative. Like, he's kind of a dick. He thinks that he's playing 4D chess, but he's just kind of a manipulative dick.
Yeah, I can never remember that guy's name either.
Like, yeah, he and his party just keep dying. They keep bringing them back. And, like, he has the audacity to try to be, like, manipulative and try to go under them. Like, because he doesn't think that what they're doing is ethical.
Yeah.
Like, screw you. You have no idea who these people are. And you try to do a dry read because you fucking read the script. Fuck you. I don't like this character.
Like, you just know the reputations, and you don't know, like, if those things were true or not. Like, fuck you, man.
But yeah, who's your least favorite character? That's mine.
My least favorite.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of the elves. I'm sorry.
Which one?
I mean, granted, the elves are supposed to be antagonists, so whatever. I guess.
Like, which edgelord elf?
I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be some big dumb reason for it, but it's the one with, like, all the scarification on him.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I can see that.
Like, oh, I'm sure you've got some big, edgy backstory about why he's actually so cool and why he's got all these scars and why it's, like, important for his magic, but it's like... I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that particular
That's fair.
one.
Yeah.
But not like we've had much time to kind of sit with them either. So
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know. it's tough to be a judgy Judy about
I
that.
know. I'm being a jerk by asking people to say their least favorite child.
Yeah.
You know.
Tell us your favorite children.
Coral adds, my stepmom, I love her so much, but she is the only person I've ever met not to understand Marcel plus our ex-Fallon. Ooh, red flag. You know, honestly, red flag. I'm just joking. And they also add Cabru, okay. Is honestly so cool for me. He's in the wrong genre. He'd be good in Death Note, but he's playing chess against the autistic dog man. Yes,
That Kabru
exactly.
is the guy's name. Gotcha.
Yeah, Kabru. Yeah, I agree with you. Like he's
Okay.
I don't hate him.
To be fair, Laios has a really good dog impression.
Yeah, he is autistic dog. And he's got that sweet golden retriever pupper energy, and I love Laios.
Laios
I love
great.
Laios. Like, he's a big sweetheart. So, yeah, he thinks he's playing 4D chess, and it kind of gets into the edgelord. I'm like, dude, you think, I don't know. I'm just like, we'll see what you do in season 2. I'm willing to give anybody a redemption arc, and I'm hoping that he gets a redemption arc in season 2. I know all the manga's out, and I could just read it for free on the internet.
Yeah, we could.
We absolutely could.
We could make that choice.
Yeah, but what was I say now? What the hell is Don about?
Yeah. We still don't know too much about Don.
I've just heard the name, and people are like, "This is great."
Don.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, why? Why would you do that to me? Oh,
They're talking about booties.
I get that.
Okay, you know what, Coral? I agree with you. Actually, I changed my answer, and I'm on Team Coral with this one.
Okay.
Because I agree with you. Actually, you're totally fucking right. I forgot about that character. That's great. Coral says, my least favorite character is the gnome dude who's a jerk to absolutely everyone.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
I forgot about him. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Nope.
Screw that guy.
Team Coral all the way. Yeah. Thank you, Coral.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for reminding us about that douchebag.
Oh, I know, he's a total dingus.
I'm so smart and great, and I'm the advisor to the mayor, and
He's the one who thinks he's playing 4D chess.
He does too.
Yeah, he thinks he's being really clever. Ugh. No, you're right. Thank you, Coral. Shark says, Don is yokais meet aliens.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so like aliens from JoJo's? Because that's an important question. That's an important answer. That's interesting. Thank you for that quick little synopsis. Yeah, we'll have to go check it out.
Absolutely.
I do love yokais. I do love Japanese folklore, and I would love to do a yokai stream. I could give you a bunch of like fucking lore. I could lore dump and be so like my fucking ADHD like hyperfixation. Like I'm gonna get all the fucking lore.
You do like to collect lore.
I do. I can't remember names of shit to save my life.
No, but you love lore.
I can remember stories. She's so cute. Are we gonna have time? Well, no. You know what? We're just gonna keep going. And people, they gotta tap out.
Exactly. I mean, plus, like, the thing that I love about, like, YouTube versus Twitch is just that, like, everything is, like, saved. Like, it's already there. So if you do gotta tap out, the video will be, like, complete by the time you come back to finish it up.
Is that a smile or a nose?
I was thinking a smile.
Oh, okay. That's cute. That's really cute.
Like, just when you're working at such a small scale. Like,
That's why I want to ask. It can
be difficult.
Yeah. Coral adds, so Dan is about this one kid who's like half possessed by a yokai, and a girl with psychic powers tried to find the first guy's balls, yes, testicles, because yokai stole them, but dropped them. that tracks for yokai.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I know that there's a lot of essay in Japanese folklore. Like, the kappas are, like, awful.
Oh, protect your butts from kappas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the Japanese game about the two fingers, trying to go up people's butts and stuff.
That's
like,
cool, man.
yeah. I get that that's it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
It's a cultural thing. I understand.
We can understand, we just don't have to condone it.
Yeah. So Shark said, based on what you said earlier, though, the show might be a little too much for you. Definitely look into it before watching. Thank you, Shark. I appreciate that.
Okay.
I will do that. Because y'all making me curious. I do like to look into things, and sometimes I'll just read synopsises without actually watching the show, just because I get curious, you know. I've read pretty much all the endings and lore about Dragon Age 4. I'm a huge fucking Dragon Age nerd.
Yeah.
So excited to disassociate and like completely just lose myself in DA this week.
What are you talking about? What? How were you peeking?
No. Oh, okay. So the Kappa are the most tame in Dandadan. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay. Thank you, Coral. Yeah, okay, I'll do a little research and see if that is something I want to watch or not. Because, yeah, that's a big trigger for me. Yeah. Cool. Thank you. No, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. And no shade for other people who don't mind watching it. That's a personal thing for me.
Okay.
It's a personal thing for me.
I think I'm pretty happy with this lava fauna.
She's so cute.
She is very cute.
Oh. It looks like she's got a beard.
I was trying to go for like a Haterne like Pokemon, how like she does like the ponytail in the front.
That does look like a Pokemon.
You know what? Really quick, I think I know how I can really make that pop a little bit more with her. Just have that clear definition.
I love it. She's so cute. You gotta post these online.
Oh, absolutely! I'm gonna post these. This is a content farm right here.
Okay, but the real question, Shark and I both want to know.
Yeah.
Front butt. Front butt. Front butt. No. Well, let's get to the next one. I think the next one might have a little bit more booty.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We will satisfy the booty, the call for booty, call of booty. No, that's a terrible parody name. Shouldn't go in that route.
Coral adds, his worst thing was being hired gun. He is innocent, and I love Mr. Kappa. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
He's not one of those kappas that you got to protect your butt around.
Well, I mean, like, again, it's essay. Sexual assault. Yeah. That is the trigger for me. Violence, I can, like, whatever, you know, it's not real. But it's when sexual assault happens. That's when it becomes a little too real. And I forget the name of the movie, but there was one movie I watched that had a essay scene that was so horrific, so graphic, so awful. It just absolutely, I'm like, I was depressed and just like, it wasn't just depression, but like anxiety central for like 3 solid months because it was so triggering watching. And because of that and just a bunch of other things, because me too. Yeah. That is just, it's really, really triggering for me to see those things on screen. And like there are sometimes where it's just gratuitous and it just really normalizes essay. Yeah. And I have really strong opinions that we should not be showing those things to normalize it. Yeah. But when it's another culture and a different approach and different, like, a different culture has a different history and different things. And a lot of fairy folklore, I will be first one to say, is that, especially in Irish and Celtic folklore, to be, taken by the fairies is very much kind of like when people talk about alien abductions and being probed and shit. It was a lot like like how they described being abducted by fairies.
Yeah.
And there was SA, and I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it or anything like that and try to say, oh, no one's ever talked to, No, I mean, it's a horrible crime that happens all the fucking time around the world constantly. It's a horrible thing. And again, my biggest thing, sorry, not to get too real, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
enjoy the comedy show, everybody.
No, it's just, again, just to preference, it's just my frustration is when it's kind of put in kind of like for gratuitous sex scenes.
Yeah.
And, like, I would much rather see a loving couple have a gratuitous sex scene, whatever, like again, consensual
like, sex scene is okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a very sex positive person, and I'm not like a prude in any of those types of way, but my trigger and my frustration is when they just try to normalize SA in these types of spaces. Yeah.
I feel so awkward because, like, you're going on this very impassioned speech about, like, just kind of some of our societal ills, and here I am, drawing a dude just dropping trow in the bushes. Like...
Do you want to talk about this, friend?
Yeah, let me talk about the Caganer. Glad I was able to make that segue work.
Yes.
So the Caganer is a tradition that is popular in Catalonia, which is kind of the space between France and Spain. And there's been a lot of, like, kerfuffle about, are they part of España? Are they part of just themselves? Like, do they have a right to govern themselves? There's a lot of that happening right now over on the other side of the pond. But Catalonia has the tradition of the Caganer in their major nativity scenes, which is...
What?
Yes.
In their nativity scenes?
In the nativity scenes. Because, as you might have guessed it by Rabbit's comments earlier, Caganer translates to the pooper. So it's just like, it's this little delightful joke that they have. Like, oh yeah, there's a dude who showed up to this baby's birthday party and just couldn't hold it, so he's out in the bushes behind the nativity just taking a deuce.
When nature calls,
Are you going to be ready for that call?
I get, I've got friends who've got IBS. My when it calls, it happens. You got to listen to that call, you know?
You do.
I love crazy, silly, again, like those Christmas traditions, especially around in Europe. It's a fear-based holiday.
Yes, absolutely.
You see lots of, like, ghost stories and, other spooky things. It's the dead time of the year, and so I love to see all the silly little traditions, and I love learning about new ones. It's interesting to me that Krampus has become so popular in the United States.
Yeah.
Because oh, Rachel, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks for showing up.
I know we're going really late, so thank you so much for being here for as long as y'all have, and especially those who've been here the whole entire time. Thank you so much for hanging out.
We love it. We appreciate y'all.
We've been watching a lot of, Ken's been watching more, but I've been enjoying the times when you bring, or you have Bleck streams on Twitch. They are absolutely delightful.
Bleck Voot is one of my favorite Twitch streamers right now.
Yeah. We were talking about maybe doing some Twitch streaming of gaming.
Yeah. It's the biggest reason why I don't necessarily do Twitch is because I don't think I've got the hardware for it, really. YouTube is very plug and play. I very much appreciate YouTube for that. And like I was saying a moment ago, everything is done and put up on the channel when I finished. So
Yeah.
that is a nice aspect of it. But,
So if you missed a part, you can always go back and rewatch it. But Black's streams have been fun. But yeah, it's been very interesting to see Krampus showing up in a lot of like modern popularity, as those are things that I grew up with, and I was the strange kid. We're talking about Krampus. Herr Ruprecht is actually more popular than Krampus, but because of like okay, so Herr Ruprecht, do you know who that is?
Yes, he's kind of a gift father that kind of got wrapped up with Santa Claus.
He's like an assistant to Santa Claus.
Yeah. Well,
he's a little guy.
He's just a little guy, but like from what I recall is that Herr Ruprecht, like it was like a concurrent myth that kind of got put together because of it.
Yeah, I can see that, and actually now that you say that, I'm curious to actually do a little bit more research into it. I haven't done that before because it's just some things I grew up with and I don't think about. But that should be that would be something fun to look more into. But the Herr Ruprecht is like he's just this little guy. He's just this little guy who comes and he helps out Santa Claus with like distributing gifts. They call him Saint Nicholas. But Krampus, on the other hand, I love sharing these stories because I think it's really fun. But my Opa, my grandfather, my mother's father, he grew up in modern day Ukraine, but it was a German settlement at the time because Catherine the Great was doing a lot of terrible things to the Ukrainian people, like giving out their land to try to destabilize the country. And unfortunately, my ancestors were like, free land, sure. So they came out of the Black Forest and they settled in what is modern-day Ukraine. And so it was a very, very small, poor farming community that they lived in. And so everybody knew each other. It was very small. And so they would all come together, and all the adults, and like, all right, which kids are pieces of shit this year? And they'd all come like, oh yeah, that kid. And then they would decide who would be taken by Krampus. Mm-hmm. And so my Opa actually played the role of Krampus 2 different times that I'm aware of, probably a couple more that he didn't talk about, but the 2 stories he would always share was one when he was in this farming village, and again all the adults came together. So he had a list of kids that he knew he was going to abduct, and he said that how he he had a big cloak and chains and bells, and he took socks and he filled them up with like dried leaves to look like severed legs hanging out of his basket. And the adults let him in, and he adopted like 4 children. and put them in a sack and walked them out to the nearest cave outside of the village. And he said, ooh, I need to sharpen my knife to eat these kids. And he basically just left them there. And of course, he kept an eye on them, so of course they wouldn't like die because like
eaten by wolves.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And so, but yeah, like, and then because it's a farming village, they're all up at the dawn. So as the dawn is coming and everyone's waking up, everyone could see who's doing the walk of shame as they're all waking up, so they knew that who was abducted by Krampus that year. And the second time, the story that they always shared was when my Opa was courting my Oma. So this was in Rottenburg on the Tauber, which is a small, like now it's a really like touristy, like the most Bavarian of all Bavarian towns in Germany. But where she grew, like in this small town where she grew up, my Opa was telling her this story, my Oma this story, when he was courting her. And she's like, oh my god, would you mind doing this again? Because my kid brother has been a royal piece of shit. And so he kind of did similar, like, get up, you know, the whole thing with the cloak and the bells and the chains. And this is the part that they all laughed at. But he, like, when he came in to go collect my Oma's younger brother, he started screaming and he hid under the bed. So he took frozen pieces of horse manure and threw them under the bed to get him to come out of the bed. And so he grabbed him by the ankle and he's pulling him and he swears, I swear I'll be good. I'll never do it again. And my Opa stops and he's like, you swear it? And he's like, I swear I'll be good. I'll never do it again. I'm so sorry. And he lets him go and he's like, fine, I'll let you go this time. But if I have to come back for you a second time, I will not be so kind. And he leaves him behind. Apparently, he was still kind of a piece of shit afterwards, but he did scare the pee out of him.
Once you get old enough, I think just the threat of Krampus kind of loses its sting, so to speak. But,
because it's more like a shame game, you know.
For sure.
And another fun story I like to add to this is that the first year that Ken was courting me, when we first started dating, he actually made his very own Krampus costume.
I did.
And he showed up as Krampus for a Yuletide gathering that I was organizing. And he legit scared the pee out of some kids and a dog.
I felt terrible about scaring the dog. I'm proud that I had those kids hiding under the table.
Yeah, it was really great. All the adults knew what we were doing, and they were all in on it. And like, hush, hush, hush. Oh my God, Krampus is coming. Oh my God. I was like, oh, okay, we'll see. And then, like, you were taking a while in the parking lot getting your outfit all ready. But yeah, everyone had a really good time. It was really funny. And I'm currently looking at the mask that Ken made.
It's hanging up on our wall.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I'm really proud of that mask. I really want to do like a Mark II of the Krampus costume. Like, that'd be a lot of fun to make up another one.
Yeah, my friend Ryan does Krampus locally here. And Krampus, shout out to Krampus 253. And he does different areas where he'll dress up as Krampus and do like holiday pictures. And where I have my office, he does pictures with him and the Holly King. And so there's people for like years now who come in every single year to get their holiday pictures with Krampus, and they send it out to all their friends, and it's really fun. And so, like, I always tell him, like, man, I would love to do a Frau Persta costume with you and just scare the pee out of kids. I'd love to do that. It would be so much fun. I know it'd make my Opa spirit happy.
Yeah. I'm glad that your Opa had a chance to see my Krampus mask as well.
Yeah.
Like, he loved it. He just put it on and shook his hands like,
yeah.
I'm Krampus.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it's fun.
The things I grew up with was he would always keep a switch at the front door.
That is some old world right there, is what that is.
And a fucking giant stick, like, as a threat, I will beat you.
Yeah.
If you're not good.
It's definitely that old world mentality.
Yes, very much so. Y'all ready to start talking about Lord of the Rings?
Now, as I'm wrapping up the Kaganer.
Yeah. I've been called Galadriel. I freaking loved, like, I legit studied Tangwar Elvish and Sidarian. I have a book. I have a fucking Elvish dictionary in my fucking house. I've studied a lot of Elvish lore, of Tolkien's elves, and I honestly really like the Rings of Power series.
It's been fun. Yeah, like, it's been entertaining.
Season 2, I've got some spicy opinions about.
Yeah.
But, honestly, it's, I mean, the Silmarillion is elves behaving not like elves.
Yeah, exactly. So how can you really say that they're not doing exactly that?
Yeah. But my only thing would be the pacing.
Yeah.
The pacing is my only complaint. And Sauron's hair.
What, you didn't like his wig for season 2?
It was awful.
It was.
It made me think of Sailor Moon Odongos most of the time. I hated the middle part and the receding hairline. Like, if you're gonna have a wig, why have the receding hairline in addition to the middle part? I mean, come on. Just sweep all those hairs straight back. But, yeah. It was like, I enjoyed it, and I really like that the actress they have for Galadriel. I really like, there's some things that definitely are creative choices. I can understand some of the complaints, but overall, I honestly I like it. It's been its own experience, its own thing, and it doesn't need, and it's just, people gave the movies a bunch of shit because they took out fucking Tom Bombadil.
I do not like Tom Bombadil. I am not a fan. This
is an anti-Tom Bombadil household.
We do not stand Tom Bombadil in this house. I'm sorry.
It's so I hate. I hate. And I do not like Tom Bombadil in the Rings of Power. It's just. Oh my God, Coral! I'm sorry if anything I said was spoilers for season 2.
Oh no!
Yeah, they've confirmed. God, 5 seasons of it.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, the books have been out for like almost 100 years now. Get on it.
Come on. No. Again, I like
it. I'm totally joking.
I've been enjoying it. There's no I'm like, oh, I hate it. There's a lot of fans who are being such toxic nerds about it. Yeah. I'm like, no, you know what? I enjoyed the movies. I enjoyed The Hobbit. There's some things with The Hobbit I didn't like, but most of all, I enjoyed it. A
lot of our jokes are just for laughs.
Yeah,
we're not being that overly critical. We try not to be toxic nerds.
And I enjoyed season 2. Again, I like Galadriel. There's some things that I'm just like, okay, we'll see where this goes. I've been enjoying all the elves, because I like me some elves. But, Squirrel says, no, you're all good. The only thing you spoiled was Sauron's supposed dog shit cut. It's not a very good wig. It's not a very good wig. I'm not a fan of that wig that he wears. But again, my bigger complaint would be more the pacing.
Yeah.
And some of the elves have very weird ears.
Yeah.
The prosthetic elf ears on some of the elves are very strange. They're very thick and chonky.
It's a choice.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a very weird choice. And I wonder if they're trying to go for a different type of elf. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they were going for. And I'm sure that some nerd somewhere has got it all figured out. And I just need to find that YouTube video and they'll go over it all. But,
yeah, let's find their local Rings of Power theorist.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. But, I enjoyed all the stuff. And the proto hobbits are cute, My only complaint would be pacing.
Yeah.
That would be my only complaint. And, but I mean, they're going to do their 5 or 6 seasons. It's confirmed by Amazon. They've spent billions of dollars on this series.
Yes, they have.
And they have the money, and they will, I'm sure, continue to spend billions of dollars on this, which, have fun. Yeah. And that's more of what I'm doing with it. As I'm having fun with the series, I'm enjoying it. Again, my girl Galadriel, she's cutie, It's yeah. I like their versions of the rings.
Yeah.
Because I almost bought myself a Nenya ring many times in the past. Maybe one day I'll treat myself to a Nenya ring. I bought one, it just didn't look right, and it was from Lord of the Rings, from OG Lord of the Rings.
You gotta find the right maker for it.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to find a business that does it justice. A Nenya business. That was so clunkily prepared. I'm sorry.
Lord of the Rings cake was not a lie. Did it. Talked about
it.
Oh.
I just want everyone to know, too, just as I was clunkily putting that together, just the grin on Steph's face as I'm trying to say that stupid joke. It's just like, you gonna nail it? You gonna do it? You gonna land this shit bird? Like,
because this little guy here is landing his shit. I love that he's like in nativity scenes. That's really funny.
Too.
That's really funny. Oh man. Now, Lord of the Rings was such a big part of like our elder millennial experience.
Oh yeah. God, yeah.
With like, still sometimes I still see a lot because I've been on Facebook for a million years and whatever fucking Facebook. I still see I mostly keep it for my memories.
Yeah.
And pictures,
Yeah.
which I'm slowly starting to remove off of the platform because what happened to you this year.
God. That's why I don't post to my art page, is because I don't have control over it, because I got hacked, and Facebook has no way to actually talk to a representative or anything of that sort.
Yeah.
So no more Facebook Henchman art, quite frankly. But I'm still on everything else. Thankfully, my Instagram wasn't linked to it, so I didn't lose that. But yeah, it's wild.
Have a lot of spicy opinions, but I still see a lot of like my Hobbit content I was sharing from 12 years ago. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I love the party elves. I love the party elves.
Oh, I love this guy. I love the Caganer.
I hated the forced relationship in the Hobbit. That they totally screwed her over into forcing into that at the end. Outside of her contract. Do you want to put up all of your buddies?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
You had 12 of them, didn't you?
I had a pretty big list.
How many did you actually do?
Oh, jeez. Like
4? Out of 20, or out of 13.
I had a big list, so...
Because you're used to doing it in,
we usually do, like,
5. That's right, that's right.
Yeah, because we usually do illustrations. You know, we're not necessarily doing, like, pixel art. Like, my pixel art streams, I can usually do about 4 or 5 sprites. So, there's all of our friends, which I was so happy with how these turned out.
Who's your favorite?
You're asking me to do... the Caganer. The Caganer is my favorite, of course. The dude just shitting in the bushes behind...
Baby Jesus.
Behind Baby Jesus. It's just... Oh, Catalonia, you're doing it right. That's a good tradition to have.
You're right, Coral. That just means we have more for next year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Because, God, I wanted to do all 13 Yule lads. Like, oh.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, that would have been an all-night stream right there.
The stream.
That would have been the entire stream. Oh, God. Yeah, and...
I like Frau Pechta.
Yeah, Frau Pechta is great.
Yeah.
I love the little knife I gave her. Like, the hay.
That's it.
Yeah. Like, God, honestly... I wish I had made the Mary Lloyd a little smaller.
No, they're perfect. They're perfect.
Okay.
Because the Mary Lloyd's supposed to be large.
That's true. That's fair. And then
you're gonna post these on your socials, right?
Absolutely. Let's turn on Krampus just so y'all can see him too, because I had done Krampus previously.
Yeah.
There's
the crew.
There's the crew.
There's our crew. There's our friends.
Mary Lloyd. Anyway,
well,
I am so thrilled with these.
We are gonna get back into streaming.
We absolutely
promise.
Are we gonna stream next Saturday?
You know what? Let's try to go for it. Let's try to go for it. Yeah.
Typically, we like to stream on Saturday nights. 7 to 9 is kind of our tentative plan for those right here on the YouTube. Keep an eye on us on socials. Kenjamin Art. I always announce when we're going live. It's been a blast. Thanks everybody for showing up.
Yeah, and if you have ideas for streams, I mean, we okay. I always say this, but maybe I should take that one back because we have like a year's worth of ideas in the backlog, so it might be a little bit before we're ready to take other ideas. But I always like to tell people, if you have an idea for a stream, let us know.
Honestly, yeah. Like, we love getting suggestions for streams. I mean,
Lord of the Rings stream.
Oh my goodness. I mean...
We'd have to start with a cake. It's not a lie! I did it! You just had to wait 3 hours.
Sorry to Rabbit, who had to bow out before we got to it.
I know.
But yeah, just like hit us up on socials, Kendrick Art on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. I'm on Kara as well. Hit me up there. Steph is Raven Wisdom Divination. Or Arts, excuse me. That's right, you did update the name. Raven Wisdom Arts. If you're feeling like more like sigil art, bind rune art, it's more like the witchy woo-woo kind of spiritual stuff.
A witchy woo-woo,
yeah. But yeah, drop us a line. We'll be happy to get some ideas, yeah?
Shark wants you to know.
Yeah?
Front butt was a lie.
But the Kaganer took care of the butt for us. Is that not enough butt? Are you not entertained?
No, more butt.
Tell you what.
Front butt.
Okay, everybody. This is big.
Oh, he's getting close to the mic now.
I'm gonna get up right on there, turn this into an ASMR stream. My friend Mickey Pixels has said once he gets to 50 followers on Twitch, he will do a peer pressure stream where anything we tell him to do, he will do.
Really?
Really. So if we all go and give him a follow, Mickey Pixels, on Twitch, and get him up to that 50, and he does front butt, I'll do a front butt stream too.
Oh, you heard it here. Oh. Like, smash that like,
That's right.
follow,
That's
subscribe,
right.
bells, whistles, yeehaw!
I'll even make it simple, and I'll put a link to his Twitch in the description on the stream when we wrap it up.
And keep an eye out because we might be doing some streaming on Twitch one of these days.
We might. We've been thinking about expanding, like doing more than just the YouTube experience. But yeah, we're thinking there's some upgrades that I think we need to make before I can really do Twitch properly and not have horrible latency. Anywho, we're getting long in the tooth. We don't need to turn this into a 4-hour stream. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up. It's been an absolute blast. I'm thrilled to be back.
Ken.
Steph.
Thank you for streaming again. This is one of my favorite things to do with you, so...
Thank you for being my lovely co-host.
Always.
All right.
We'll see you next time, friends.
We'll see you next time.